You always dey watch we program them, but you not subscribe to the channel. All wetin you get for do, press this red subscribe button and then you come over here and press this bell. To the bell option, press this one with all. E don done. E no get for cost you anything. When you do this, na sign for show say you dey support we for make we do more. Thank you for we don help we for share this program. Yeah, God bless you. You know say plenty people no get for vote the time for election? Not because they no want for vote, but now because of this simple mistake where I can't tell you what so, now go make plenty people no vote. Right now, as the Electoral Commission Salon don't pull the date for vote and for register, plenty people just the yagba and they rush go do things them as then they tell them for do. But hey, members say registration, the voter registration, they begin from the 3rd of September to the 4th of October 2022. Then a number one step we go give you guarantee say you go vote. But if you make mistake during this time, you no go for vote. And I think this way person no go able for help you pan. What in this mean? It means say no ever register na the area where you dey work, do business, or where you dey go school. You know what it make? You don't know. Sometimes the time for the election, then go say public transport not for run. This na big challenge for you. Remember, if you tap na Kalbaton and then you dey walk na Lomley, how you go able for go and vote na that side? You go able for waka? The answer na no. So, no make that mistake dey. As them blow the whistle when they say, hey, today na the 3rd of September for begin the voter registration. Do ya try by all possible means for register na the center where they near you house. So the day when they go say for voting, whether Mutuka deal, Mutuka not deal, not to you business. You dey go full na morning, vote, return back na you house. So you see, if you make this mistake, the possibility go they say you no go vote 2023. So waiting at this yagba now for say me party go continue for then power or me party go return na power if I not able for vote. You want vote, they change the whole situation.
Papa, you been tell we say that we trust the process, but man, let's call the progress of the process. Wearing suit and tie, bandoti karata, thief man they all a thief, now the system batter. I, whoa, yeah. Papa, you been tell we say make we trust the process, but man, let's call the progress of the process. Wearing suit and tie, bandoti karata, thief man they all a thief, now the system batter. I, Rastaman, me know every cock and bull, me represent green, white and blue. That's what me have to do. Then meet the water dirty, then know it make it settle, and then jump inside, then dirty and more. Thief man they all a thief, now the system batter, salon they go bien. Who that now we go believe, oh, wrong side life, we dey live so. I say na the capside life we dey live, oh. I say na the wrong side life we dey live so, eh. It's just a capside life we dey live now, yeah. Oh now, whoa, 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 yeah. Papa, you been tell we say make we trust the process, but man, let's call the progress of the process. Wearing suit and tie, fantastic character, Thief man they all a thief, now the system better. I Rasta man, me no Harry cock and boot, me represent white and blue. That's what me have to do. When I meet the water dirty, you know make it settle and then you jump inside. You dirty and more. Thief man they all a thief, now the system better. Salon they go be here. Who that now we go believe, oh, wrong side life we dey live. Sorry say na sana say na sorry yeah. Wrong side life we dey live so. Why? Oh now. Wrong side life we dey live so.
Banga. I'm in the building. Man fed up, man. They make mumu talk. Pull up the the lighting system so nasty.
Nasty, yeah.
It's so nasty. The water system, it just the nasty.
Nasty, yeah.
That's so nasty. Just the passage pad up and nasty.
Nasty, yeah.
And the real nasty. See we sweet salon, just the nasty. It's sorry. So that's it make one nasty. Don't start with salon, so nasty. So nasty. This president's government is over nasty. What's in a nasty? Check with parliament if you see nasty. Always them talk, who talk that's a nasty. We ministers now them body nasty. For shots, call them papa nasty. Judicial system is smelling nasty. Now so nasty. Anti-corruption, them fake and nasty. They make sabi, but nasty. We police and soldier, they're all sorry. Cause the system nasty. We footballers, they're over sorry. Cause SLFA nasty. The lighting system so nasty.
Nasty, yeah.
It's so nasty. The water system, it just the nasty.
Nasty, yeah.
That's so nasty. Just the passage pad up and nasty.
Nasty, yeah.
And the real nasty. See we sweet salon, just the nasty. It's sorry. Do not make one nasty. Entertainers, they not take me serious. That make we more nasty. Medical facility, it's too rotten. See people they die nasty. Politics na the original nasty. We make salon down nasty. Free education, but me I not see nothing. Planning just the nasty. Some drivers themselves just too nasty. Make guys for business nasty. See for itself not the most salon sorry. Angry they kill we nasty. But smack sick na the country up and nasty. Salon just the nasty. Nako fact, no one like corona don't save. Just the eat corona money pa nasty. The advantage now we can't get it too nasty. You know who that na me pa nasty. The water kisses, them me just the nasty. The youth send down the girls with the nasty. With traffic wording, then too sorry. The shop tickets pa nasty. Salon is sorry, until just the nasty. With sweet salon just the nasty. The lighting system so nasty.
Nasty, yeah.
It's so nasty. The water system, it just the nasty.
Nasty, yeah.
That's so nasty. Just the passage pad up and nasty.
Nasty, yeah.
And the real nasty. See we sweet salon, just the nasty. It's sorry. Do not make one nasty. The country add up make all man nasty. Man add up nasty. All man they crumble. Sell salon nasty. Salon is full of nasty. Some journalists themselves too nasty. They spread news way nasty. Salon man in bad that's too nasty. They head with for nasty. 2020 ski kasi nasty. Where salon get for nasty. Papa God na everything do ya save we. Save we from this nasty. Men the man fetch simini man fetch men the man. Salon na tribal nasty. You span then this gun like which gun? That one a danger nasty. Me I don't talk down, I fed up with the nasty. The corona nasty. Na eastern na de una can beat me. Una can beat me for me nasty. The lighting system so nasty.
Nasty, yeah.
It's so nasty. The water system it just the nasty.
Nasty, yeah.
That's so nasty. Just the passage pad up and nasty.
Nasty, yeah.
And the real nasty. See we sweet salon just the nasty. It's sorry. Do not make one nasty. The lighting system so nasty.
Nasty, yeah.
It's so nasty. The water system it just the nasty.
Nasty, yeah.
That's so nasty. Just the passage pad up and nasty.
Nasty, yeah.
And the dirty and nasty. See we Switzerland just a nasty. Sorry, too dirty make one nasty.
And there must be no sacred cows.
So I encourage all Sierra Leoneans to join me to fight corruption. This is just the beginning.
The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not go for. I said we tired with their lies. We tired with their promises that led us to a lot of damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrate us. So why did you lie? Why did you steal? Why did you allow the citizens to breathe? You see, we just tell you that why we voted you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. The people fool us, the people lie to us, the government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not go for. No one to trust. My people don't want to hope on. Nobody. My hope that I have been broken. I'm telling you, brother. So where are the schools? Where are the roads? Where are the jobs that they say they could afford? But they're too selfish. The people tired with their rhetoric. People tired, they tired. You see the reason why we ask why the government betray. They have enough of time, but yeah, then instead they delay. People suffer. No work, but people crying for hunger. Look at. Your vision and your mission, your intention to the nation, they poor. You got nothing to show. Nothing. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not go for us. We tired with the promises that led us to a lot of damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrate us. So why did you lie? Why did you steal? Why did you allow the citizens to breathe? You see, we just tell you that why we voted you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask.
Statistics matter, and that's what I don't do. If we look, some of them rest from 235,000 to 360,000 for bag. If you look pint oil, cooking oil, from 3,500 to 6,000. If you look rest per cup from 1,200 to 2,000, the one way hit me heavy then there's a way I asked somebody, say the cup pepper from 700 to 4,000. So when you look at why I choose then commodity, then I don't think they man they go every day, go buy in the market can cook. So man they cooking 1 cup rice plus all this night, the whole family, 5, 6 people, they eat. So when them price here begin jump, so it means that the poverty hard. And yes, they don't raise salaries of people, but you know they keep pace with the price inflation of them basic essential commodities here. So times are hard.
This expectation as alone, now we get for change. Nobody not the change economy overnight. As a nation, I want to make you understand one thing, that there is no quick fix to national issues or problems. If we want to bring happiness, it's not going to be in 2 years or 3 years. With COVID, we don't take already 1 year. We know the meet, we know the, as we talk, we go for cover, we know the whole world come to a standstill. But what we don't do is, now forgive hope, say, what we be say we go do, we don't start for do a lot of the things there under very difficult circumstances at the time, at this particular point in time. You cannot run any country or even an organization with a battered economy. So we knew we were going to meet with a very difficult situation, and we were equally prepared. We had planned for victory, and so when we got the victory, I selected JJ Safari, whom you just mentioned, to lead my team of economists for economic recovery. Have they done a commendable job? Yes, I would say. And that is why they are still there. If not, they will not be there. What did we do? We have a lot of resources, we have not managed them properly. And therefore, we have been dependent on the support of donor partners for a very large extent. And we need them. They are allies in our fight against poverty, in our fight to surge forward in development, and the rest of the activities we are engaged in. We needed to win the confidence of those allies. So what did we do? Well, we made a commitment to them. But I must say first that they had left this country already. Why? Because we, as a country, the former leadership was never listening to them, and there was poor economic management, high inflation, huge debts. You to take over a country like this. So with all of that in mind, we decided we were going to do what was necessary for economic recovery. And one of the things we did was to, one, gain the respect and confidence of our partners. And we engaged them, made a commitment to them with certain reforms, and we engaged with those reforms, and they later realized that we meant business, and we were committed. So the IMF came on board, and in the review by the board, they accepted a 3-year economic reform for Sierra Leone, economic program for Sierra Leone by the economic recovery. They would help us. But what is important about the IMF is the fact that when you have a program with the IMF, it gives you a clean bill of health, which other organizations around the world we always look at before they engage with you. So once we got the IMF on board, the others started to come back, especially donor countries that had abandoned Sierra Leone because of poor economic management. The World Bank and other institutions noticed that we were serious and committed. So that was how they came back. And the rest is history. You can see their participation. You can see even in the middle of COVID, we were able to get over $100 million United States dollars. That was a sign of confidence in our capacity to efficiently lead this country economically.
When the SLPP made a campaign before they come into governance, the current Minister of Finance and people who made the campaign, they come, then tell the people of this country, say within 6 months, then go fix the bread and butter issues of this country. These are 3 years down the line. So for let we say we still need more time, indeed, but not to take we go backwards, but move way forward. The bread and butter issues, 6 months by 5, has still not been fixed. But then have been a commitment. And then we know the challenges, because I believe that the Minister of Finance is a seasoned and experienced economist. So before he make that statement, and he must don't do research, he must don't investigate, and not just talk them. So for let it come, not able to fix them, the people then this, the hardship increase, then I am afraid. And with all due respect again, I agree with the president. He say insatisfied, because I ministers, I mean true, if you not be satisfied, but don't pull them there. But we as opposition, definitely we're not satisfied with the way the economy they go. We're not comfortable with the way the economy they go, because we believe say hardship don't increase in the country. But I mean promise we say in 6 months then go fix them. So now 6 months after, 2 years after, 3 years after, we not going to be satisfied. And I should say most Sierra Leoneans, most, still they complain, because we mix with the ordinary man and woman on the street on a daily basis. So the economy not something we'll be proud of at all. And this thing about IMF, we get a good relationship with the IMF. So for say the IMF be not left with, the IMF not be left with. No, we work with the donors until the last minute. They may still give me money, they may still support this government. We government in 2018. And they may do one because they see the prudence in what they will do. But let's not forget, always closer to elections, in any developing economy, donors can slow down, because they're not in one lay. You concentrate by your politics, then you expect for use resources. We not to, probably for the intended purpose, but definitely with programs them in their life, them in their own. Just that when they come back, they get for go for every year you go to the IMF board. So the thing that we then go for, now for the one day for the year, then we don't forget in 2018, before elections, the 2017 December board will not approve a project for government, and they will not release money. So yes, we will deal with government. We will deal with it.
Hello, we good people. I'm inside this one big family house. How we all do? We hope say everybody okay. Well, we'll be send a flyer out to tell you, say today we get the untouchable, the youngest and the roughest, because I call him the roughest because waiting he can do another house, it look like when they see a rough soldier, we know they take mess now up front. Any obstacle, he ready for clear, as long as for protecting territory. Well, Fambulem, of course, we don't get this young man a few weeks ago inside his house. But it make them possible back today for can talk to we send them inside and for make them go watch waiting they go on and can't tell you, because we always can tell us say not to all thing we able know inside the house, except somebody where they inside there now you know the things them where they go on deep one inside the house. Well, I will introduce this man, the first interview we'll get Naya. Today I will left me brother. Maybe he self know something about this man for make him introduce him to Una.
I know one thing no more way go on for say basically in politics, yeah. I think inside a democratic nation, then say government always now government for the people, by the people, and what? It's not the next thing. Okay, basically, what it simply means, it means say, where you did it, they lead people them, the people them for realize say you didn't, they lead them, and you for be loved by them people there so. So waiting I know say this man also, you know, only they represent the nation, it as well represent in people them. And I'm not saying people them get any regret for sending and going to the House of Parliament, because it always, I repeat, it always they for talk, but that thing where they mona me, where they mona you, that thing where we always they try for say, this thing so if we been get this kind of solution and that. Well, interestingly, we been see few other members of parliament and begin for stand up, you know, to that strong corrupt caucus. But as time we go, that all can change. It changed because you know how life talek. So, the pressure and all of them things, and they come up. So, nothing not able to go now the level where they actually want them. If I dey talk, we all know about Honorable Tawa, for example, will be very strong. When they're ready for sideline and the kick can go behind the parliament force, Now they go sit down. For me, then send and go behind there. Now wait yourself if they talk small. But anyway, I see and I can understand to a member of parliament like that one day. Because now the country this way we dey, if you stand up for something where you believe in, yeah, talk and go, talk and come. Anyhow it's like now you want where you get problem, now you want the day by you problem. We all know how it been like for Honorable Tawa, for example, where apart from one or two members of parliament wey they try for sympathize with them, try for day with them, but the nation, now few people we just get this talk, hey, we dey with you. But the problem, the pain online, they feel them. Well, this Honorable now one of the people and they will not care. They not care what happen. In fact, waiting good now that they're not in the same party. Say they no way, not the way they go able for suspend them. Well, you don't already introduce her. I just want to forget a background of how strong the member of parliament they are talent. And as you go on inside this same parliament here, if you want to talk something where they know say you're not controversial to somebody, if now the deputy they do, the speaker they do, where you want to talk certain thing and they tell you say you do so sit down. We don't see them they cut them. So democracy they play in different fold. But it always the sit down or the team up triangle one for the interest of the people family. This na young man with the last talk say we don't our good one. In necktie self not the day in position. Because you know say serious thing don't camp and come. Well, today we don't get them back inside the program for where we can talk. Well, today what we talk about basically, we talk about the president in speech, caretaker Bio in speech where he go do. For open the 5th parliament inside the Republic of the country where na Sierra Leone. We as well go get for thief turn small bit. This will not tell how they can thief turn small bit. Say the 21-man committee, they don't form a mentee. Well, interestingly, we see one name. I don't know if now this young man I named Dedeo. Well, I just say na him. By the way, again, the idea.
Well, Lentin, we get the young man here. They can't tell we because we get Boku AKK them. But they can't know who that other AKK na the list.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, now the screen now you get Honorable AKK Abdul Karim Ahmid Kamara. Welcome to the show. We are.
Thank you very much. Thank you, viewers. Thank you, listeners.
Honorable, before we begin, I think these people need to know about them. We pull a flyer today for actually make people know say you they come back and join me inside the program. But as the time they reach, so tell me what happened.
Unfortunately, I don't set me my computer, I don't set me phones, and all me gadget them, I don't set me books. I think that the flyer we pull, as you pull the flyer, so they get 5 minutes to 9, they shut the lights off by Musadi, and as usual, the internet go off, and I have to travel almost a long distance for every day with a friend and get network. And it's not easy, but this is what I have experienced today. Now this other side of the political and I know she was sorry, but it's how they had the blackout though. But for as you pull flyer, as I imagine from go, put everything together, the light just go. And I want to apologize to people then, and I also know one light generator for inconvenience other neighbors them when they close to me. Because sometimes that's how people feel we treat them wrongly. When then they try to not get light to the light generator, it seems as if they provoke them. So you have it all and they don't have it, and it can sound very painful. So I decided for life and get a more conducive place for life. We talk to them on this platform.
All right, thank God you're able for strategize. That's why I think wrong go you say it's all like way in our front. It's a bit for maneuver. It's a bit for pull out. They say the best soldier man do how they retreat and come back. Anyway, Honorable, we want for see you fine. So if you can adjust the phone number, just Ben and Smaller will see you fine. No, just left and the way I been there, but just adjust and fine. So yeah, like yes, like you come near and small. Yes. But again,
Good.
small
Good.
bit more. Small bit more, small bit smaller. You go find at the screen. Thank you very much. That one there, okay. If you can able link so, not bad at all. All right, the program we watch right now. Now we had my name na Sembepe, the freedom fighter, and on the other part, the sharp cutlass.
Of course, me people, Mina Baibure, Kabbalah from the north, the sharpest cutlass 2023, no retreat, no surrender. We move.
Honorable, you know this you name here so before this term, myself now I'm possible be the fet with them, you know, Honorable AKK. Right now they see somebody say even though they introduce you somebody they say Honorable, you know, let me see something. Abdul Karim Kamara, something say Abdul Karim Kagbo, something say Abdul Karim, you know. So please, let me get you name find one from UCSF so we all go lay this thing to rest.
Okay. Me na the Honorable Abdul Karim Kamara. We come up Cambia. Me the representative of Masumbala, Monotala, and Campus section. Interestingly, we get like the Abdul them like we four. We get a AK. You get the one when Honorable Abdul Karim Kamara himself. And interestingly, in a Poloko he come out, and your number, constituency number na 69, me na 59, and your body na match 6, me your body na match 7. So for me, in almost identical. Then you get Honorable Abdul Kagbo, we na instead na AK, but like I so na me in the only two parts we most times now they go home. We're always together, and people hardly identify. Well, other na AKK. Other than Abdul Kagbo. Some people call me Abdul Kagbo, some people they meet up and call him AKK. So he is Abdul Kagbo. Then you get the other one alone star, where instead na Abdul Karim Koroma, instead na AKK. So I am not worried when people get complicated and confused over anything in there. In Abdul Kagbo in your case, now because of the familiarity and we are almost every other day in the media, so people they mix, we names them. And even the last story I arrest, now people them call me say, hey, they said that I arrest. I say no. Now me twin partner in the arrest, not to me. So that is it. But I am
interestingly, this self now other kind of hard soldier at the ground. Una get on a squad. You the Abdul Kagbo, you get the other one. You not just pick on yourself and put on yourself together. I wonder how they can look on a parliament.
Well, interestingly. Maybe not into student politics long before now in the early 2000s. And interestingly, me Abdul Kagbo be in two different camps. In between at the IRC camp, Benson and my guy, wife's been a full-blown 5-star general. So I know his ability even when we're in different camps. So when we meet up in a college, for me, I always make friends with the best. I like to make friends with somebody where I know so this one is greater than me, so I'll learn from you. And I think we coming together as a team, a parliament, really don't pay this country great dividend. And it's one person where they willing for share even the best of him points with me, and with the converse over everything. So for me, he's one of the best person I've ever met in my life. And not they compete with nobody for any reason. He wants to always make you than making himself. And I think that's why it's growing faster.
Okay. We can't talk about different things. This will be just one let people understand no more. I mean the squad, the cabal, or the other warriors them inside the House of Parliament, Una they do a very good job because the wonder now if not so now how the parliament for Bidonta with regards to the opposition. Not that other speaker, eloquent speaker, they know the people that really talk better one, but una something else anyway. And now that we're going inside the program proper one. Honorable, I hope you do with me. Alright, something get call. By the way,
listen to
something they will come up in a parliament, one album they will release in a parliament. They release some on the I think on the 10th of May 10th in a parliament. They release one song in a parliament. That album they I don't know if you don't listen. By the way, they tweet.
Yeah.
Remember the song na Parliament?
Well, of course, this song, I think, say one part the artist when we release this song, and I will do with Sonaya. We na remix we be just we be just do on Blow Mind. The song where the honorable be released for we, I think it go like this: the pardon lie, the pardon lie, the pardon lie. The pardon lie, Madabi. You know, honorable take it long day. It really church. We like me. I dance, I sweat, I change me clothes. I dance, I sweat, I change me vest back because the song is sweet. What do you think about that song day before we go inside the business? Proper one.
What do you think when I come up with the song in the first place?
Well, really, you know, it's difficult for talk to big person, but as traditionalists, them will all be as politicians. People can go now, we applying them. Me now, one person where they go inside the song where they sing, and not only the dance, and not only glad with the people, but I they listen carefully. The message behind the song, you know, like why be the campaign? Or people when we get this music when they sing, hey. APCO kane, APCO kane, APCO kane, APCO kane, APCO kane intimatulum, APCO kane intimatulum, APCO kane intimatulum. At that point, what the problem they try to communicate is they've seen the danger in Gambia, and they tell for team up actively. You understand? They tell for team up. They tell you for fet. No careless the battle ahead. So when I listen to that music, before anytime they listen, I also they talk to the people and at the background for understanding what the music mean. Now when I'm moving to my campaign strongly, then begin sing another song where they say, I go more fino. Now you both on my state less move. You understand? The people really tell you, say, okay, with all rating we don't know, with all rating they don't tell you about NGs, with all rating they don't this, but you good attitude. The way you don't talk to it, in no more the Israel make the vote for you, even before the elections. So songs in African politics, now one way very, very unique way they communicate a strong message. You know, it's insulting for you tell the presidency it's a lie. You know, but more lie now an old man we most time can in our village where in activities them if they're not what they say not reflect the reality of the people we get sense, not go tell you say they lie, but then go say this might be more lie. So it means say if you go caution yourself and know say which you they say not to true. So it was a kind of euphemism. We use some kind way for milding the situation, but to waiting the president be delivered to win a parliament where you compare because what they do we know they look at what the layman they look at. When they do a comparative analysis on what the president does say in 2018. 2019, right. 2020.
Okay, just hold on that side. Just hold on that side because now the side where they can begin the ball rolling. That side where you reach so we see so many noise in the house. We see the other parts with the shouts like they jubilate, where other people they say they try for obstruct people and for make them not understand what's in they go on. So the president, when we caretaker, it been come up with a statement where we call speech. It took plenty in them inside this speech. But we really want, as people they listen to you now, make you tell we waiting now you take on that particular speech day where caretaker bill be go Lego inside the house.
Okay. First of all, President Bio talk on many issues. One, it talk on issue again for due to corruption. Today, because we also get forget all the people in my program here, let not take the entire speech and I will make them very, very boring. It talk on national cohesion, the reason for we all live together. It talk on it also talk on water supply, it talk on the health situation, and of course we don't deal with education the other time. But today, I want to look at corruption. where the president talk about. I will also manage to look at national cohesion, where the president talk about. And I also want to look at the water and the health sector of the country. Why am I deliberating?
All right. So we just want for make we look on the speech first, which you make up.
Yeah, generally,
like,
in all, a very good speech. Yeah,
okay.
like in all, good speech.
Okay, the president, first of all, this speech, now a complete facade, you know. The old president's speech, now one way, when you look at the reality on the ground and you look at within the president, they say, but if you read paragraph 2 of the speech, if you get the speech, I will encourage you to read paragraph 1, 2, and 3. And then you will see the complete scenario the president make. For the very first time, President Bio admits say the country don't go bad Nayan. He say, let me read just paragraph 2. He said no one could have predicted then. If I read, I'm not going to understand. So let's start paragraph 1. Now manage to read paragraph 1.
Okay, so before you go to that one day, let me just play them for you. Let people hear them as well.
Okay, thank you. Paragraph 1, 2, and 3. Then it go better for we.
I think I hope I get some. Low go time.
When I first addressed this honorable house 4 years ago, the world was in a vastly different place. At the time, I brought to this house plans to translate campaign promises into policy actions, to tackle troubling inflation and low revenue mobilization, to introduce disciplined leadership and efficiency, even in the face of dire economic situation we inherited as a government. No one, I can say, could have predicted then that we would also be tackling a global pandemic that will cause unprecedented disruptions, irrational spikes, and uncertainties within the global economy. And the words of Martin Luther King, the ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in the moment of comfort, but where he stands at times of challenge. I dare say, ladies and gentlemen, that the ultimate measure of a leader and a nation lies in the ability not just to weather a storm, but to emerge hopeful and resilient. And that is Sierra Leone. And you know, even the APC shares that glory. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, it is my great honor to lead this nation during these challenging times. But I'm here today not to dwell on these challenges. I want to show just how far we have come together and how resilient we have been together as a nation, including the APC and other. To show my government's commitment to political stability and economic prosperity in spite of the times we are living in. To show our investment in educating our future generations, building a robust healthcare system, prioritizing food security, empowering women and youth, protecting and promoting rights and access to justice, addressing poverty and unemployment, governing justly and accountably, protecting our environment, mitigating public safety risk, opening up the investment ecosystem, and underwriting purposeful infrastructure. These development gains are a product of the deliberate choices we have made together and the last.
Okay.
Yes, Honorable. I think now this should be one. Let we come up. Now you go on for read.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. If you listen to the president, interestingly, you go find yourself very difficult for fault time in this, because what he said in paragraph 1, he said, "Where he can power." Some of the things that if the members say, if I do, one, now for tackle the inflation. Secondly, the president also say now for increase revenue mobilization. Thirdly, he said it account discipline leadership. These are the 3 pillars where President Bill used for address we in 2018 say he go achieve. However, he said he never achieve this at all because he never give a single, he never address the issue of inflation, he never address the issue of discipline leadership, he never address the issue of tackling, he never raise enough revenue for the country because there is COVID. So first of all, he accepts that he failed. But this fail will fail is that COVID make you fail. That is the first thing we I think say we all for clap for President Bio because he accept for the very first time say he fail we, but the reason make he fail now Corona. But let's come to this Corona and see we as people and we are not lawmakers them, we are not citizens. I always on the tell people and say some of us are vocal not because we are members of parliament. No, not to that one day. Because we find ourselves now at the middle of 2 generations. We find ourselves now a generation where they in leadership. Then we find ourselves now at the mid-age where they come or take over leadership after this generation of leaders. Therefore, if we get them wrong for we own generation, it means say we on this generation not go prosper we, and the generation we therefore can lead will also be very problematic. Therefore, it is our responsibility as young people for put speed bumps, for check the current leadership, for also make sure say we go in depth for understand the current analysis around governance. So by the time governance comes to we own age, we go to address majority of the bulk issues them when a burning issue to the Sierra Leoneans them. So when President Bill said this in first 3 paragraphs.
Okay, internet trouble. Basically, they try for analyze the speech of
they talk
of caretaker Bill, and they talk about the different paragraphs them, and that one there, especially at the opening of in statement where they try for say according to Honorable where he don't summarize the speech now that caretaker Bill don't agree, he accepts say fail, but at this time he ain't gonna ban COVID. Yes, Honorable, continue. The internet will be all you.
Honorable Lady.
All right, before you begin for talk, watch the mic. I think you don't mute the mic as well. This now we had YouTube and Facebook where they talk about the caretaker in speech where he making a parliament where they open the 5th parliament, you know. And this I think at the last time this way they open the parliament because election time don't they right around the corner. Honorable, you mic, please. Okay. Well, we get some challenge with regards the how you call them, the internet. So sometimes if you get for they see some way how they think they disorganize, just hold on to that one day move. By the way, as we wait for that one day for it come in again, waiting you go and follow we hook up to before they come in.
Sorry again.
Okay, no problem.
People keep calling me and I don't have to. They understand. Say.
Yeah, I can understand.
Okay. So as I will say, we find ourselves in this cross-generational thing, and we will not keep quiet. Or if we keep quiet now, we are going to suffer 2 generations. This current generation of leaders, and when we own time of generation of leadership come, we will end up forget the same problems. So therefore, when President Bio admits it failed because of Corona, we don't say from 2019,
okay,
December year of Corona, So 2020 in December, when Corona Kaya, Corona has been a blessing to Sierra Leone than any other nation.
Yes.
Because one, there is no way you can tell me how Corona. I asked the bank governor the other day when they talk, oh, Corona because of Corona, oh, because of Corona. So I asked, and the money we done at the bank, we lost. Where the bank may not get money where they circulate again. Corona, I load na China, I pass na America, I cancel, I go na the bank, it charm all the money. What programs did we implement as a government where affect we budgetary allocations where we have to do with Corona? Because as far as we concerned, all the money was spent by Corona. Now give them give we. If I give them they give we for cushioning our economy now. So to the point that we are one of the countries in the whole of the world. We're very interesting. But the money they give we for cushioning the Corona instead of buy ambulance, instead of buy repair hospitals and safe or make centers for Corona, we buy motorcar them.
And not just motorcar we na bluffman motorcar.
So imagine if we get asked yourself the question, the one who buy motorcar them for not begin motorcar, all resident ministers in the country have vehicles. In fact, for other countries, then take from other staff them, other department them, they motorcar and then count them at the Ebola and at the Corona Center so that they go able to use them. So we buy new vehicles. So Corona in itself, as I talk to you so now, we are only one of the West African countries that we still pay now we airport for Corona. We saw benefits of Corona that, you know, interestingly, outside this whole thing up where we economy really badly damaged. In 2019 December, before they go into the budget, we are in Corona all over the world. And
okay.
as members of
please, not beg for break you from this point. We come and segmentize them. As you know, I like them for we. Let's take one after the other. We're going to talk about corruption. We're going to talk about the water. We're going to talk about the economy, electricity, one after the other. Because what we do as we go along the line, for some people, because the thing where I don't able to understand from where it talk na parliament, plenty people not able to listen to this. Plenty people afraid for listening because I get somebody will tell me say it the heart and they get high blood pressure. So because of the things that way they inside they are fast and concerned, I lie things they inside. So you know most people not able to listen to them. So we want to take this opportunity since you there with your own blessing. Let we break them small so people go able to listen because I can always tell people and say the only way you listen you go able to talk about that particular thing. But if you not listen, then you're not able to talk about them in no way. By the way, who say you go?
We move. Let's just let people able to understand something as the program they go.
So which topic they go now?
Well, Honorable don't church small on the speech where caretaker you can lego because me then I not call and talk na lego. As they say, we don't sing on top the speech say na lie the part lie. Well, not so we see now so the members of parliament them say. So now, Mr. Honorable, with the rundown small, we want to make we can talk about the economy. But inside the economy, we want to make we can look on the exchange rate, the inflation, and how business they go now yard. But before that, let me bring you something where they reflect your mind before the Honorable they come inside and give you word.
Yeah, so basically we can play small thing about what INSSF talk directly about this economy. Let's just listen and quick.
Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I'm pleased to announce that in spite of the sharp contraction in 2020, our economy is in recovery and projected to grow by 5% this year. Our economic recovery and is projected to grow by 5% this year, higher than the sub-Saharan Africa projected rate of 3.8% in 2022. Our economic management and inclusive growth strategy will therefore continue to focus on enhancing domestic revenue mobilization, rationalizing expenditures,
working towards single-digit inflation, maintaining a stable exchange rate, safeguarding financial stability, striking careful balance between reducing fiscal and debt sustainability risks while improving spending efficiency and addressing external vulnerabilities.
All right, Honorable, let's take on from this side. We already begin touch on this economy, but few things in the way I want to look into. Inside in statement, you talk about inflation. You talk about stable exchange rate. Yeah, as well talk about moving towards single digits economy. So basically, in last year's speech, when I listened to him back, because when I talk about this, say we they move, and basically say moving forward, that means say you they go towards, each day at all. But in the last opening of parliament, where you go talk in a parliament, it talks say they don't maintain single digit economy. So now I begin for confused. Maybe something wrong or I missed something in that area there. Come on, inside
it. you ever permit me for the laugh as we go.
Okay.
This now because what you just say so now things that we don't say many times. First of all, if you listen to the leader of the opposition in first interview after when the president talked, he say, let the speech writers stop for the embarrass the president.
Mm-hmm.
But me go open up this and say, let the speech writers and the people that work around the president stop for the embarrass the nation. Their speech away we can do in a parliament. The international community in Salon, they receive them, then they read them because now out of them they formulate their own policies, their own strategies on how for coming for help the country. And that explain what now this speech where the president gives what it means for we as a country and what now the normal practice for parliament. When the president they campaign with a manifesto. A manifesto na intention with intent for candle. But that manifesto they now 5 years they use them for campaign. Now 5 years strategy inside the manifesto. But when you come into governance, they want tangible things that what you can do. So you go say in year one, I intend for address this issue. The way the president will go first year in the parliament, it tell we say they tackle inflation, they call discipline leadership, and they come with three key areas they talk about the day. So that was in principle. That time they talk about free education. State they go achieve them, they go build new schools, they go pull from two-shift system. That not in program for that 1 year. So when it comes to the second year, in program for me, I have achieved this. And this area was I do this, this I don't do. In this area was I do this, this I don't do. In this area was I do this, this I don't do. But interestingly, we speak to that as now powerful people. So like how they give them garbage in, that's why they give garbage out. Because if you look at like when they talk so, in last year's speech, the president talked about gaining they mobilized funds. In 2019, they mobilized funds for a particular road network. In 2020, he said it will complete that road. In 2021, he said it don't get the funds now. You understand, eh? In 2019, he said they finished the road. In 2020, the same road, he said they mobilized resources for her. In 2021, he said now he get the funding. So meaning in 2019, we say it don't complete that road. It was not true. In 2020, where he said don't mobilize resources and not get the money. In 2021, when they write the speech, they do correlation of waiting and be done first right, to waiting a second right, and to waiting a one car right now the third time. So you just see a whole mess up in everything where they do. To a point that if some minded people they listen to we as a country, they want not to play cook and dip and so. Because the speeches of the president all across the board, whether I go parliament, whether I go in the talk now state house, if you look at what we don't talk in that same area, they take another speech, you listen to another statement where they make on the same sector, they ask, what to they pamba? Now play with the player or waiting. So the people who they write for the president need for the monitor. Again, these are programs. But as I've said this the last time, sometimes if you like the president says is not part of the agenda activities of the country. It's because if I don't, you don't tell me say you make road as SLI, I don't get that road, then I be dying. Then the other year, he tell me say now you get funding. I say Igbo party. Last year I don't read this thing, so we don't complete. I don't know good again. But I find out the roads the president said they do this year 2022. So if you read in 2021 speech, the road always say they're almost 6 months already complete.
So meaning connected.
Yes, there is no connect in everything. All the speech them. Just take the speech them, Google them. Take 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021. If not the economy, where you that paragraph day. In fact, some speech day, the one paragraph following at this one in 2019. If you add now 2021, now word for word, verbatim. Some speech day, like last year I talked about the agriculture na market article. Our President Kamara in 2017. That's when they go compare back. That's when they counter back word for word. You know, so if you wonder yourself, say, oh, come on.
That Kamara is you all word for word.
Yes, yeah, word for word. So you ask them, are these speech writer or na the dominion if the doctorate affects them or they get at the country? Because it really sad. It really sad for we as a country. Let's go into the economy. You see, when the president they talk about getting a single-digit inflation, I don't know what they give the bank governor the confidence say when you knock off the zeros, the numbers that they reduce means you don't get a single-digit inflation. I am not an economist, but the interesting thing way sounds so funny. Now, when the bank governor they watch now, I say one of the reasons they knock off the 3 zeros, they will get a single-digit economy. And
but wait, maybe I missed something. I don't listen to this same bank governor where they tell we say for knockout 3 zeros not will create any significant effect to the currency. Now just for reduce the notes, the way how the paper been big, so it go inside you pocket and your wallet, you put now you waiting. So I don't understand what exactly happen. But then there's here, interestingly, we think of something here where we feel say go create serious problem and it will even affect una within the opposition. Basically, you know, say right now, for example, rest now 450,000, right? Or 400,000 low put and down with it. If they knock out 3-0, instead of 400,000, the rest will go down to 40,000, right? Enti honorable?
Okay.
So,
okay.
This is where what we look at, for example, with people now villages not understand. If yes been there 400,000, then immediately they see yes don't count 40,000. In as much as to them, they not go understand the money. But as far as they concerned, they go use that there as a campaign means for say yes be there 400,000. Promise to not say it they go down, it don't go down to 40,000. You know watch I'm that with it.
No, and not they get that kind of effect. You know, with the advent, I also they say this every day before I analyze the economy. Say this is our first full-blown elections. We get for do with the social media. These are the first social media elections, so they want us alone. So let nobody not take propaganda. Say you excel using propaganda. No waste your time, because sometimes this program will do so now. By the time I'm done tomorrow morning, somebody in the deepest part of me constituency say network not be doing network. Don't go now. Go tell you say in the Moody's as we yesterday. I always you talk. So knocking off the zeros. You not get no effect, because you don't knock off the 500,000 for bag of price now. You pull on the count to 50,000, but the person in salary itself, not forget say the person they pay 500,000 instead of the salary they can down to 50,000. So now the same 50,000 they take for go buy the rest. So it not get no logical conclusions. So what we need for do as a country, when the right thing to do is, you cannot build an economy in a chaotic situation. You cannot build an economy in a situation where, because investors, not all they left over that they use for do business. Now they add one currency, they add one investment, they add one savings that they use, and therefore, when you get investors from Canada country, one they look at the climate of peace, the climate of democracy, your democratic credentials as a country. When your democratic credentials as a country are weak, you know they get investors for come. If I remember, the pardon flight say enable war investors in for come. Why? Because as you keep the flight, only people they come out, they say the president go to our hotel, he sleep there, the receipt will give the fake. If you give fake receipt, it means say that the office of the president and the government is not credible.
So when it comes to corruption,
no, I'm not the touch on corruption. I just touch on the issues where they affect with economy. And therefore, if you know if you get investors for coming, you know if you want investors, you come, you meet London mining, Mayamba mines na Losadi operates, you come, you shut them down. No credible investor no will come in where no say as government change, they shut down the company. Those are all the effects of our economy, where they meet with economy. But above all, you come, you say you inherit a government in austerity. Again, for we people who know that's austerity. Austerity is a measure where government they put in place for reduce the burden on government, not because government broke, but because government get activities where they need for fulfill. They can say, okay, like for example, we put ban on traveling. If the president they travel, it will go small number. Imagine if you could do that same kind policy now, how much money Stallone will save? Because the president they travel with almost 30 to 40,000, 30 to 20 people every time they travel. 90% they go with. And then when they only get per diem in hundreds of thousands millions. So if you put policies in place, we go stop them playing enough for the travel with the president, that large quantity, not large number. It means so they save huge amounts of money in hotel bills and other things. We also they talk about then they say government parastatals, we go book big hotels and pay big money for get just workshop amongst themselves for hotel and do their workshops them at the offices. Per DMs will go offline. At the time we'll get Ebola. We've also cut them down. Employment of new staffs. Government for pause and force until we see outside the Ebola the left way. That is a government where we so responsible because we get for subsidize fuel and other essential commodities of the people for the people. So therefore, it was important for you for certain areas where government they spend money, but what you know I do when they come, they say, "Oh, we live a country in austerity." When they cannot remove the austerity, but they flout all the austerity measures that they meet. One, they increase the wage bill. And we watch the number where they increase the people who they employ, they're not commensurate to the wage bill what we get now. But what has happened? They inflate salaries of them boys them. When they pull, most of them come over, see they come. Who salary sometimes somebody be the work like they pay 3 million. Your all kind of depending $10,000 and 100 million. And then you stand and say, oh, we employ teachers. Even if you employ 10,000 teachers, if not the number in the wage bill, that wage bill not even increased by 2%. So what you just say is they increase unnecessary salaries for them boys them where they come with, increase condition of service for them at the expense of the ordinary people. And now you see why the teachers in the strike, because you think that the 1.3 million they pay them is small. No, it's not small. But what is small at the fact say the dollar don't go up. By the time they pay them 1,300,000, then the exchange rate was 700. So 1,300,000 was almost like $150.
Okay, so basically, let's just touch on this dollar quick. As far as in concern, they don't get the exchange rate into a stable situation and not a move at all. But I look again, the last year where we talk about exchange rate, for example, it be 1,100,000 going to 2 million. As we talk so now 1,300,000 officially, because as far as we concern the passports, they say now $100 when now 1,300,000 means say it don't move again from 1,100,000 to 1,300,000 in just 1 year. Then for he say with in as much as all of them things that actually happen, then they get a growth of 5% this year. So this growth now in paper or in reality?
Well, I tell people in the SLBC say, what do we get in this current presidential debate? Now, future impossible things. Because imagine the president, they tell we now say go get 5. These are assumptions. These are projections. If you watch in 2018, he projects that we will get up to 12%. If you watch in 2019, he projects. There is nothing President Biono ever project in this country come on fine. Nothing ever project where he gets correctly. So projecting our economy by 5%, for we, the only time where we don't get a stable inflation. Now the time where President Bio not travel for a very long time, where is still on a salon, the dollar not go beaucoup, will not get unnecessary travels around the office of the presidency. Well, that's what way I can say it's unnecessarily, and that's the only time we get a stable economy. Small that was in 2020, where we get a stable inflation. But if you like how they fly, that's what the inflation they fly. That's what the dollar said they fly. Yes. So you find out, say, even at the peak of Corona, I tell you, say that we were receiving, and what do you expect? They were so it means say if we cut down the per diem of traveling, we cut down the boku travel they do. Sometimes we go help our economy.
Thank you very much, Honorable AKK. Now I make I tell you, say you're not the untouchable. Anyway, you're not the soldier way. You the advance, you retreat. And where they advance now, you go with full force. Since you don't reach that side where you stop, so something there where them people are being come and talk loud one way be hard for confused. Most of we say make we trust the process as Kiati Kabio been say. Then come and tell you, then condemn the old bread and butter where the APCB they give. They be say it not be enough. So then they come with bread and butter issue where they can solve for we, where they make they go na bed with hunger. And everybody they able to satisfy and feel say and realize back say now we don't get a new direction. So they become and tell you about the bread and butter issue. But before you can they make we remind people them now before you they can talk something on the bread and butter issue.
Mr. Speaker, honorable members, now I move on to food security. Food security is not merely about feeding people's tummy or guaranteeing that people can buy food in the market. Affordable, safe, and sufficient food supply is also a matter of national security. Alongside essential like water, energy, and this is why the third component of my flagship human capital priorities and this factor in building national resilience is food security. In March, I met the president of Vietnam, a country that has comparable arable land of its best lessons of rice cultivation from Sierra Leone, but is now one of the world's leading rice producers. We held talks and witnessed the signing of 3 bilateral cooperation documents in diplomacy, agriculture, and fisheries between ministries and sectors. Our government is firm in its resolve to pursue food security and establish and develop cooperation ties with Asia-Pacific nations, including Vietnam, to achieve this goal. One of the well-known ways of improving food security is through climate and nutrition-smart agriculture. We cannot continue in the old ways of agricultural production in light of all that we know about the earth and the climate. Agriculture systems must become more productive and less wasteful.
Well, of course, now this caretaker bill be talk on the bread and butter issue. But the way things can they go right now, we see two different things that they play when it comes to this bread and butter issue. Honorable, waiting now you take over this particular one we put on the screen so.
You know, when the presidency say issues of food security, food, now issue of national security. At that point, I sit up straight and I take my diary and I was expecting some good message. Because for 4 years, the president don't count tractors, the president don't come with so many things in the area of agriculture, way for cushioning the economy. But unfortunately, when the president begin talk, when the president begin tell what he achieve in agriculture, he tell we say recently he just don't fly go out. You go see the president of Vietnam, and that fly we fly so go see the president of Vietnam. He don't go land avocado agriculture. He don't go sign, and the bread and butter issue we be talk about. And now he don't go see how for do am. It sound interesting. 4 years after trumpeting the Tomahawk issue, the issue now local Masama don't get time for plants. We are the rice bowl. You know, I keep the saying this. When people they talk about writing the speech for the president, if you watch an agriculture, food, what did the president talk in 2018? That gave us shiny hope to we people them. You see what he had in 2019, 2020, 2022, 2021, now 2022. He say, well, I don't go land up for plants now. The man now, you know, we na papa na house, we all don't want small picking themselves. There you tell people are the same for you switch to man, you go. You knock out, and the other is the same for our biscuits, you go, you don't come. After the third year, the third term, he say, and the same for our chocolate. You go, you come, you know, send them. The other people say, hey, Papa, what is the same for you now? Say, you know, it's not meeting. I go to that, my brother, that go land first, how he can send for him, picking them. I swear to God. You begin to watch it, for respect, they will just shake their head and say, hey, Papa. Papa, this is the tell you so. It's about the kina Pabola.
So waiting I able for notice, I don't know if Nami want catch up with that. I notice say waiting been talk the meaning way they been give about bread and butter, this food security, this thing for gonna belly, the meaning way they been give, the context where they been put them in 2018 is simply come and tell we say the way how people and they suffer, they don't tire, they come for change some of them things and they. Yeah, and that is why there be so much they lay emphasis on the issue of bread and butter. But I'm not surprised because about 2 years ago, JJ Safari, the time been finance minister, tell we say even after 4 finance minister, you know, 4 finance ministers after him, they're not able for settle the issue of bread and butter. Then now, caretaker Bio can tell we say the issue of this not to for put not to for merely feed people them, rather now for how they for plant, how they for change the system in which they do their farming and all of them things and they. So waiting this they try for tell we not for the belief politicians them again or what?
Well, it means say I would draw me words again from the 2018 flag bearer of the APC.
Okay.
He say, I remember he said it's really hot when people we don't know about governance, we don't know how money they work, we don't know how this they happen, how they sign check, how they go about this. Then just they come and promise the people change. They say it's really hot. And one of the things where people take notice about the then flag bearer and the fact they continue to tell people they say the road ahead is not easy. So I'm not gonna lie for nobody, I'm not gonna promise nobody. We are going into serious issues. And that was the time where President Bioni talked about he go address the issue of bread and butter. He go make all the kids go school free. They go give them books. They go give them uniform. He go give them stiletto. They go put water at the schools them. You know, because of that thing and you find out say now what's in the happen. Now like where the musician they say Nema West Ham don't catch up with them. The reality is catching up with them because Yes, it's just catching up with them because it's not easy. Now they are coming to the reality. Today I've been na radio with Josie say. Josie said they explained the audit service report, and only say they say in audit service report they were the certain ministry corrupt, and only say that government, that the civil servant the way they work there, that they hope for the lookout rather than looking at the government. But we are the same people when they talk about audit service reports. They don't even talk about the minister and the president they talk about. But today they are changing the rules because the reality on the ground is not easy for them to get the trust the process, even though they're inside the process, not trust the process. Because if people don't trust the process, then they run with their family, they go overseas right now. Because if it is sweet here, let's bring your families back and let's enjoy it together. If the electricity system is okay, come, let's enjoy the thing. But even if they tell us to trust the process, not believe in the process. So what do we trust? The process?
Well, this not to just believe. We understand, say, even they tell for trust the process, but caretaker abuse self not the part of the process. And in speech, they expose that every other day. Because if you not part of the process, you take note of everything where they happen around you. You know about everything where they happen because you not the supervisor for everything at the country. One way or the other, when they go cabinet and then they brief you every other day about things the way they happen. So if you're not part of the process, you really get the thing where you do at heart. Because I can always talk something. You go only do something where you love and you do it with passion. But if you don't love you could just for do am sake, no, at least for let them see. And I think saying that exactly they happen. Alpha side 1 or 10, they don't tell we say Marabio just one for use them position there so for make sure say it's seek funding for here in family and we see exactly what they happen. The audit reports now big time, proof to all of them things them day. By the way.
Until we don't get the honorable back, make it just continue, Usai, a bit stop.
You know, when you read paragraph 40, when the president talk about food security, say food security is not merely about feeding people, filling people's stomach,
yes,
or guarantee that people can buy food in the market.
Yes.
Hey, what's not food security? People are able to buy food in the market. What's not food security? People are able to full up them belly. But in your definition, it's an affordable, safe, and sufficient food supply is also a matter of national security. More confusing. So the way they read the sentence, they make much meaning to you. It just confuses you more. Alongside other essentials like water, energy, and the environment, this is why the third component of my flagship is human capital development priorities, and a key factor is building national resilience in food security and understand. This one, paragraph for it, so I don't understand the right. Because if you say food security not for liable food, okay, I don't agree. You say food security not for liable buy food in the market, I don't agree. You come back, you say the affordable and safe and food security not just about food, but it also means say you forget energy, you forget water, you forget environment. Agree. There you say in the third component, you say you flagship project now human capital. How human capital connect to food security? Where if person never get food and never get.
So in the case of that, I think say inside like we get one word they can say empty bag not the team up, but in the case of this government, empty bag the team up, that's possible for them.
Yes, it is talk about now water, or get water safe, or not get water. I not get food. I not get water.
They come to that day. By the way, also they go again.
Honorable AKK, just one loyalty, you want on the IBA. But anyway, family, be listen to the program at this channel. When we had, not forget for hit the like button as sister admin and other people. They tell we for make we all hit the like button as we get 383. Now YouTube where they watch we get 125. We don't hit the like. Please, una help we for hit the like button. Shembe Facebook wait today.
Facebook, just if we can see something. Facebook. I'm out there. Okay, Facebook get 249 with the watch and then get 137 reaction. Please don't hit for with the like button. Thank you very much. But we also will go next.
All right, Honorable. We don't do one down. Of course, side and we don't pinch. Well, I deal with the carry through now. You know, the game don't bala. Same caretaker instead of waiting, babala, he say bala. Well, we don't know any paper. If na mistake or you not connect or na the lens we not use. Now only God know. We move. Honorable AKK, now we dey come jump inside electricity, we just pinch on as you will try for talk. Well, according to the speech, also, Caretaker Bio tell we say we get enough electricity right now in the country, and in supporters them also, they go around on the social media and they say most of them hear how they talk. Now lie with the lights they na the country. What but now just now we see what happen with you until you move or go get another place for make you can talk to you people. What do you think about electricity as Caretaker Bio? The papisho am say what we they talk or what other people they talk na lie. We get enough lights in the country.
So before let's just listen to Caretaker Bio quick.
Electricity infrastructure. Mr. Speaker, honorable members of parliament. In developing the compact for Millennium Challenge Corporation, after being declared compact eligible, my government identified the lack of adequate energy as a binding constraint on development. We believe that electricity accelerates development and enhances other facets of social life and human capital development. It empowers economic activity and helps create jobs, among other impacts. A key focus of my government has been to double energy access from 16% in 2017 to 32% in 2023. To that end, we have planned to deliberately engage development actors and private sector and taking into account a good energy mix across board. My government has opted for sustainable and long-term solutions rather than procure and install temporary generation plants. Permit me to share some data to illustrate my next point. 16% of Sierra Leoneans had access to electricity in 2018. 31% now have access to electricity. In 2018, there are 184,997 registered EXA customers. 184,997 registered EXA customers. There were 255,993. At the end of 2021, an increase of over 70,000 new customers on the register. Peak load electricity consumption for Western area in 2018 was 51 megawatts. It is now 81 megawatts. An increase of 34 megawatts. Megawatts generated in 2018 megawatts generated in 2018 was 365,302 megawatts hour. It was 569,650 megawatts hour at the end of 2021. What does this data tell us? For one thing, the demand for electricity has increased, as has the final financial cost of generating electricity. Extra tariffs have not kept pace with generating costs. World oil have increased, and with that, an increase in fuel costs. The average buying price of 1 kilowatt hour for the car power ship is higher than the average selling price by Extra to the public. Government has been paying subsidies to take away the real cost of electricity from customers. This has caused severe cash flow problems for government. To complicate matters, we have witnessed the unconscionable vandalization of transformers.
Well, of course, Fambulem, now this caretaker talk, but electricity. Well, Honorable, you been there upon all these shouts will be gone because to be on side, like you had for talk. You see where we caretaker they able to unblock for talk. But this talk today now you get me and my brother, we just there for backup, little things them now the studio. Waiting you take on this electricity statement of we own caretaker.
So, before I even go into the 2020 and 2021 reports of the president, let me look at what's in the presidency in 2018. In 2018, the president acknowledged say there is electricity, but electricity was expensive. The existing structures will be paid be very, very heavy. Will be paid the IPPs them for provide electricity. And he acknowledged that we divide the EDSA when at distribution agency and the EGTC when at the generation power. But listen what he do. He said, when kind of power, he renegotiates the contract. Mm-hmm. That was an excellent idea. Mm-hmm. But this is where sometimes I say, is it that President Biho it does not proofread what he writes, or they write for him, or is it that the president is not part of the old planning team? In 2018, he said that they reduced, they negotiate for reduce.
Yes,
they
because the last government be agree way be too high for pay.
Yeah, for the people.
Yes.
So in negotiate with the car power ship, we succeed for reduce the price. But guess what they do? This government not good for salon. This government wicked. They reduce the negotiation, reduce. Then they add the tariffs and people. From 2018 to now, people they pay high electricity bills na salon at a time when the car power ship and other agents where the supply light, we don't negotiate and count down. And at the time we increase the price on the ordinary people go up.
According to our report where we read from African Business, Salon na the number 8 country. Where you look at the 10 countries in Africa, we get the highest, tariff in terms of energy. We the number 8.
Okay, we get the least energy we pay for from private companies. We pay the least, but we really pay the highest form of electricity bill. This is not 2018. In 2020, I know they take it to 2019 again. Now we go straight, waiting the president say in 2021. He say, we get sufficient electricity. We light system, you don't get problem at all. It's okay. Free time at 24 hours light. You sleep and light, even when you sleep and sleep, the light, the bulb, the light, the common at the bulb, you can't wait, you say, I do when you use me. So we were sufficient in 2021. Mr. President, that's good. But in 2022 this year, they say in developing the compact for the Millennium Corporation Challenge Corporation, after being declared compact eligible, my government identified the lack of adequate energy. Hey, boy, who can do this to the president? Again, enough money for take care of my wife. I can feed them. I can take them to the restaurant. But because me when I don't say they send money for me, one of the things I would tell and say I want address with that money there. I want to begin by cutting from your wife leg or this so. What are you communicating? Last year we get enough energy. This year we don't qualify for the compact. Now one of the things we will submit now the inadequacy of electricity. This at least, you know, people can read in between the lines. Which one we take? Inadequate electricity this year, 2022, when the president also don't get more energy into the country, more people use energy now. You understand? But still energy, according this is not what I said. I have not said anything in this. Now the president he said inadequate electricity will be one of the problems where you will put forward for the MCC in case we get
okay,
the
so
compact.
this can go to two questions.
You say,
one,
yes,
it's like this government, they rule the country, you know, more for satisfy the international community rather than the people. One. Number two.
Of course.
Number two, if I get it right, please correct me. In this same 2020, where the time where you talk about sufficient power supply, where instead of being shocked in a parliament, where you read that in the, yeah, I mean, tell we say then they generate about 100, you know, megawatts, you know, from the car power ship. But now we they talk about 81, where it's saying and then they generate. Talk to me something.
Okay, let me tell you, say, we can balance research as a nation. Because this is coming from the first gentleman. And if 2021, we get more electricity, we generate more, we get sufficient electricity, and we get on it. Now, the president said we get more sustainable electricity, we get 80. By your imagination, and the president for don't tell we say, from last year we get sufficient electricity, this year we drop by this amount because of A, B, C, D, and E. And because of that one, if Nami they write this, that's what we are going to do. Say in 2021, we experienced a boom in the energy generation. But in 2022, there are key challenges and we have dropped from 100 megawatts to 81 megawatts. And therefore, because we are in the MCC, in the compact stage, we are going to ensure that the inadequacy of electricity is going to be part of our documentations will be forwarding. Then you communicate clearly. Everybody go understand, say, okay, there is a challenge.
But wait, look at this other thing. It tell we say, then they subsidize. In other words, then they pay extra money to the car power ship for make the people the way they use them pay less. But at the same time, you the tell we say, then they pay less to the company, to car power ship, then the people them they pay high. I listen or watch one video of one person where they tell you about a meter. For example, ordinary meter, they say they pay for an hour for go buy no more 2 million. Where we know almost meter been day, then 10 a day. Now they pay 2 million for say the people like you say you very correct. Say the people and then they suffer the burden for this car power ship. So what about the negotiation where they make for reduce the price?
Okay, you come with two issues then, and the one that some people have don't raise. In fact, I think I want to raise and stop for the embarrassed people. We system change us alone. Yeah, under this government. Now what you they get meter na the way to go buy bread na shop now. First time meter na the property of NP at the time. You go pay to NP count the meter, then go install and you hose, if you get problem, na NPA problem. That means they get stamped code and get seal. Nobody know they will tamper and pass. You will get you. They will get a meter. So there is a shift in the whole thing now. Now they get private people. I think Blackout don't follow me back now.
All right. I think now the light we talk about.
Okay, light don't come back.
All right. I think they get change over generator and LP so.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So what's in the app now? A system in which you get and sufficient electricity.
Yes.
very, very. So you get a situation where actually the president they negotiate this. A private sector. Now, if I want a meter, I go buy me meter and a private person and I go now, I go register them, then can fix on my house. But guess what? When the meter are faulty, then I'm house. I know they go to the always import the meters and more. Then they can arrest poor people and say this meter is not good. It's a thief light. Then they take the post and a victim will go by not to engineer. Then go start giving meter and I can't install them. But when they're done, they can arrest the person, go with an CID, and then go bill them back.
I think issue like that they been come up in McKinney and other places them where they go arrest people.
McKinney, Losai, Lungi, it happened at Lumley, you understand? It happened at Bo, and the people were just victims. The people are not engineers. I go buy bridge, I go buy meter account on my house. Now I can't fix them. Una not detect them. By right, if una they give private people for buy the meter, when they buy the meter they come to EDSA. Now EDSA will watch them and ensure that they're good for purpose and then go install them. Where there are faulty meters, then EDSA with them, and the people who import the meters will take responsibility. But sadly, when government talks that they pay subsidy for the electricity, hey, I want to see them. Because imagine in 2018, the president say he negotiates the contract.
Very correct.
After he negotiates the contract become more expensive.
And in fact, the word where they use, they say the last government signed a very bad contract with car powership.
Thank you. So, una meet a bad contract, una cancel them, una renegotiate, then light bill, the way they top up with meters them, it go up at the after una don't negotiate a lower price. And this is where communication in governance is very important. If you've negotiated and the price has gone up again and you're paying a subsidies for that, you can come back to the people say, we negotiated, but because of A, B, C, D, they say this all boil down. If they pay subsidy, it can boil down to the dollar. Because you imagine you're paying in dollars. So the time you negotiate, so dollar was 7,000. So by now, if you pay $1,000, when I be 7 million, now if you pay $1,000, now 1 million, now about 14 million. So you see, so if they are subsidizing, it's because they cannot control the economy. It's not because
so look at this thing again. When I born in East UAM, they happen. Two things about this car powership. Number one, car powership being come out and say they're not the lights again because the government be owe them 50 million, dollars. So if then they pay the subsidy to car powership, how comes then they owe them? That is one. And number two, from where the car powership get problem, now like 3 months it comes to now, where turn out they're not able for service yet. What thing they happen? For say, now because the government get for pay them, then decide for do so on a real problem they get, or something wrong somewhere else. As member of parliament, so that can look into them things then they.
I get them from you as a news, say the car powership get problem.
Yes,
now,
like 3 months ago now it gets some issue.
Okay, that complete news. You see, this is where we talk about governance communication, in which you communicate to the people. When you're in power, you're representing people. You take decision for people. When you are in power, doesn't mean you have everything. No, but you again we don't see like this car powership shut down because the basic thing is, if they do a service, people they pay you, and you for pay me, you not pay me back. I go withdraw my service. Definitely. And the president talk about the importance of electricity. How electricity did a great job it help people them way for food preservation, it boost the economy. But yes, still, and the energy sector not get no boost rate. The city dark.
By the way, come on in, let's go. What's how they go? Because
Well, as far as
I'm not going to just let them take the lights now, honorable in place.
caretaker and supporter them concerned, lights in the country, we dey enjoy lights. We don't have for no.
Sorry, by the way, before we
move.
can say something the honorable will ask you, where you get to do with Parliament. I find out say during the opening ceremony on the 10th, una been they compete with the people away for being spectator, because I know say when you go to Parliament, for example, the people and where they sit down, you know, now the upside, they're supposed for listen to waiting una they say, not to for compete and sing against una all of them things. But I see that happen. And normal now.
Well, you know, this is democracy, not to say democracy, not to power party. So this is not democracy by burger. You dey grip them, waiting man say burger. You dey grip them, where inside the past the way. You know, that's not be small. We get some brother when they eat puss. If you see puss, they pass near and brother where they fly panam. You know, nothing is a surprise anymore in under this government. Let nobody know like nothing not giving us. The reason why they refer to them as strangers are because they not get powers to say anything. But you know, one thing really they happen to me that the fact is, even the SRPP MPs, I am sure they are tired of the system. To a point that even when president they talk, follow them clap, now all they wipe out the president talk, now clap for the man want the equal town, they are tired. That's what they sit on the white demand. So you see the minister, they all
we see a lot of people away be sleep.
Yes, because the reality, when they tell you what are they, you can be minister, but you serve this house, you know the reality. You don't talk about enough electricity, you don't see them. You don't say electricity no day. You understand? Because if you buy fuel every day, imagine if you want big generator of 20 liters a day, you don't want like 300,000.
So in just short one back, I still want to take you to the House of Parliament, for example. I not say police security in a parliament, for example, you know, where, for example, if una they up, they try for respond to things the way they don't, you get security where supposed for can't tell una say, no, not on a whole land. MP and MP can argue, can sing against themselves, but not on a whole land for go watch. But I don't know, waiting, this nothing where una go get for look into, or not just the normal thing right now.
No, well, now this state opening, now that we see, they hired mercenaries and they were right up. If I something the way president talk, we know here. The only way they keep quiet, calmly, where the parliament gets a total calm. Now, the president talk about the Munafa fund. Say they don't give Munafa fund to people for boost the economy. And I sure say most of them will be with the Allah. They don't get part of the Munafa fund, so they self extend the left for Allah. That was the only time we get a calm parliament that day. And they now only like 2 people in the Allah now. I think people have realized it. Now they call Allah where the money cannot do with the key. They go get other people them. But 2, it is bad for our democracy. It's very, very bad for our democracy. And that they also I don't say this, the first 2-3 years of parliament, me don't personally get personal attacks from people where they come at the gallery, where they point fingers at me, where they threaten, where they cost me up the gallery. And this is a threat to our securities as members of parliament. And I am sure that is not good for our democracy. For me, I always say in democracy, precedents are things we should guide and be careful of. Today, if I am in authority, I am having the advantage. I will also be careful, say, it's government, I will not be there forever.
And I find out, say, the caretaker very proud of what happened. They even make reference to that, they'll comment about that, and they say, democracy at play. We see a snap with opposition leader Chagnoba, Kande Yumkela, honorable, and at the end of the day, he put out now on his Twitter page say democracy. Then for we they enjoy democracy. Then for let's for talk about them bad things, them and the country, all of them things. Then they this not a part of the discussion, but I feel tempted for ask you some of them questions. They are waiting like how una receive some of them kind of post from the president.
knowing
Because waiting happen, we not see anything at the reality.
Knowing the kind of country we find ourselves now, you see, one the black at the advice. Imagine black and the advice people they say, this government they arrest Chris Van. They say nobody know they give the life, and sometimes people keep quiet. Even you were free and also keep quiet, and you think say the bully and pass back, and not mean say you're right. It's just not reach a point where it wait for time. I tell you this morning at 99.9 radio say, SLBC Morning Coffee say, the issue of national cohesion, now one way the president don't kill the expectations of the people. No matter what he do now, he can go take picture with myself, he go find me in my house, he sleep there, they are not the convince the people anymore. Me go say President Bill he gets a free penalty kick, where he take in touch to the media houses them, and they ask and say, what do you think about national cohesion? What do you think about unity in this country? He said this country be done divide even before independence. He said it's man and divide them by the north, by the south, by the. For me, that na the answer President Bill give way. Take the one to listen. It shocked me. I was shocked. I was shocked. Well, I know I use the word petty, but I was shocked. And up to date, I find myself in that kind of shock because in background as a military personnel. It show a place and a place society tribe not to think or talk about region not to think the training about it all. Everybody in the military is a brother. It can be Mendema, you be so man, and be team man. But you and that kind of united family come on when at the military. I would not really expect that kind of situation where you can go say then we don't divide this country to Timney line and Mende line and divide them by. That was the golden opportunity when the president begets for send a sound message to we. And for 4 years, the president not send that message. The only way we go very close to election now, the president they talk about national cohesion. But again, I said today that yesterday we bury we mommy, we sister, and we comrade when that's like Katukupa. And one of the things where we now young people are not going to forget that the fact say Zulai go be almost the 9th or even if not the 10 people where this government arrest and put Pademba road, and after 6 months, 8 months, when they commodity, they die. It don't happen to the woman na Lovely. It don't happen to Willet's colleague when honorable member Chef Q. It don't happen to Zulai today. It happened to many other people. Them. So you cannot talk about national cohesion in a situation where people get then kind of sad mentality and their mind about how they lost their colleagues. Them. You cannot talk about national cohesion in a situation where today, in every facet of society, people they perpetrate the tribe, the region, they boast of them. You see me and them, and we turn this for the very first time for ladies that happen. Now we society.
National politics.
It's sad. You understand? It's sad to we as young people they come up. Salona was away, tribe, region, religion. Not mean anything to we. But today, we see the other side of history.
Okay.
And for some of we, they say, as young people, then kind example here. Now we turn, now we try, now we this, now we that. In facet, we're supposed, even imams, imagine when people just say, we are the imams for SLPP. It's sad for we democracy. It's sad for we nation. And if we cannot do anything about it, don't forget that other nations, we don't go through their roads, then they started like this. And for some of we not get a second home and not get, if I'm in constituency, I did all thing day. Mama, papa, are the same side. So I don't get any other place for call home. This is the only place I have. This is the only home I have. Okay. I have went to school with people who are Mendes, who are my friends. They've had the best of my friends who I get. Now people who come on at the southeast, Gizi, other tribes. Them. I have never in my life thought of, this person and this person, this person and this person. But as I tell you so, with no hesitation, I want to say the tribal consciousness, the regional consciousness with politics is heightened by this government. And that is something we would need to stop.
All right. So, let's look at small more thing, and I concern from people we the commodities inside parliament as well. Well, not to people from parliament about thing will happen. The first lady, you know, a normal for lady first lady the sit down that position they with the president on anytime where they address the nation. A normal, or not just something where we just don't take say if it be like that.
Well, I not get precedents that we don't speak to that one day, and I also not get precedents that or I not read any parliamentary report which should say they address the first lady as Her Excellency. Some of these things we also they say the president by himself not get all the knowledge. I mean, you get protocol officers and very close to him. I think they need for do their role more, and they need for depoliticize themselves first and understand say they are the image makers of our nation. You know, when you get in governance, you get three sets of people. You get the image makers of the nation, you get the rulers of the nation, then you get the masses, when then they evaluate and make the rulers of the nation. But if when they make the image for the nation become politicians, the way they get, you get violence as the only alternative where the government they use, because nobody know the way they call them to order say, hey, I think this is faulty. I think this is faulty. I think this is faulty. And that is what is happening now. Say the one way for me, the image makers of our country are more political than even the president. So
and now what would they talk about? What would they talk about the image maker?
The entire staff and crew really around the presidency.
I find out something. I observe something again. Sorry that I still talk about observation. You know, I notice say in other countries then, when you get a security, the president in security, it no matter whose statement when the president make, it not they laugh, it not they clap, it not they react to them. But in our own case, I see from the back when the president they talk, the security continuously they laugh on the way they talk.
Okay, this is what I am saying. These are the image makers. These are the image makers of our nation. And like how you pick them up, so other serious nations them go see them and say, now the president on a concert with the act. Because then people and they are trained people where they train them for guide the presidents of the country, regardless of who becomes president. Therefore, they take their job so seriously and they separate themselves from the body politics of the country. But it's sad. It's sad though. This is what we get. You don't also forget, say, this same category of people you talk about, the other day they didn't lodge, they brandish weapons and they enjoy themselves. It's sad. This is what we get as a nation.
I wonder why you call that enjoyment. I think say them they use that day, you know, like, for example, we see inside the military, you get people in the military where they play with weapon, they threaten other people them, they sing, they send remarks to them, send audio, but in another side where you see one person create a group, then sack them, but they never they not take any action against them.
Okay, the reason is
all right. By the way, I think all right, so you don't come back.
I think the reason is this is what I talk about when you divide the military itself. You know, not forget to the president, now the chief of staff, and issues of security for me very much paramount to that. But you know, when you divide the military and you make certain part of the military things, they are part of the governance structure. Instead of providing security for them, you feel like say, now we party this, now we didn't have power, now we this. You jeopardize the security of the nation.
And that's not exactly what come out from the mouth of Bible. Yeah, you call this guy with the lion.
Hungry lion.
Hungry lion. He talk exactly in an audio say, this not the time. In fact, APC not give this government time for rule, yeah? So waiting and they do this first year all avoid, then they sit down back at the table restate. How can a military officer, making that kind of statement?
Well, this is our democracy. This is where our democracy is on the crossroad. And for me, I say we still need for build institutions. Then we really need for build institutions. Well, we are here because we ought to have done certain things so we not do right, and the reality they catch up between now and we seems for really get mixed up in certain areas. So therefore, what they say is all we need for say that for talk to people and for let them understand what we say. It's not just about voting. It's not just about having who your brother is in power. As a presidential guard, you should not be guiding the power. You should be guiding the president. Because it is one to guide power. It is another thing to guide the president. Like me, they guide power. You understand? I struggle for the power, becoming a politician. But whosoever government give me for protect me should be protecting me, the honorable member, and not the power. I think those are some basic things what we need to do. But when we get to the security sector, for fear saying that the power that they guide, anybody will come to the terrorizer, if I will not rule it, now they can't begin rule. It's sad for a country. And I keep saying this, some of us are young people today, but we need a better Sierra Leone, where tomorrow we go say, we are part of this, either a change, or even though they do this, they call them to attention, say a wrong. And for we not want to get a repeat of what be happening in the Pakaba era, where we get to disband the entire military and create chaos for ourselves and form vigilante groups or Kamajos or Tamaboros again. We believe in our military. They are well trained, they are well disciplined, they can provide the security we need, but the only thing we need for remove them off a bit from the power struggle to protecting the president.
I'll go you right there and allow Bible for coming with forward topic.
Well, thank you very much, Honorable AKK. Now we try for Rondon. Make we know all you are for long, you serve here for rest. We don't talk about electricity, and when you talk about electricity, you not get for left water business bien. And then we see how people they suffer about water business. But Kabio been come with some statements them during a 2018 presidential debate. Talk say this water business don't make plenty school people that don't get belly out of for the left no more than host them go fend water. But yet still, not able to solve this problem up till now. But when they come for the talk to people, it always they write them inside the water business, don't they better than our country. But so we the people, they reflect to it. But now the paper is okay. Waiting now you take over this water business as we run down now for end of the program.
I know we will just look at the water without, combine them again with the health situation in the country. In a country where we still struggle for good health care facility, most of the diseases that we report now in this country, now water-related diseases, typhoid, you go in this about typhoid. And this is because the sad reality is we people them, not even get clean water for drink. Water now three area of component make you look at the water. One, the availability of water for be used, the health component of water, and the economic and social impact of water. Because like when you say the area the way instead of them go school, then they left to get water and we get this afternoon shift system. Then they go get water 12 o'clock. By the time they go home and once for go school, it's almost 1:30. It affect them. Social livelihood. With people get for the queue for water. Water no day, then they will carry out their normal activities. Post away for the use flush. Now they begin get pit latrines and again. All I want they affect we social livelihood. the health sector. When President Bio they give statistics of water, sometimes I don't know, but it's difficult. When President Bio can read his speech, the way you see society the stomach, people think the president is not a good reader. No, not a good reader. But now the time they read it, they say, but they say answer Choko. So they see like they go, he come back, like say one deletes that side.
Look at the drama of waiting. Look at the taste of this particular theory they talk about. So
water infrastructure. Safe drinking water is vital not only for our health, but also for our communities and the economy. Increasing access of the Sierra Leone population to safe drinking water and sanitation is central to human capital agenda and of my government. In April 2018, only 65% of the population, that is 973,988 in the population in the western area, had access to safe drinking water. This has increased to 71% in March 2022, a 6% increase, with 200,000 more people in the western area getting access to safe drinking water. In April 2018, 28% of the population, that is 434,822 in the provinces, had access to safe drinking water. In March 2022, this percentage has increased to 52%. That is 909,974, representing a 24% increase, with 475,164 more people having access to safe drinking water.
okay, so look at this thing. It'll talk about the way out the door increase. How people, the number of people where they get water now in the country, don't plenty pass how it be meet them, So now the country now you get 28%. Inside free tournament now be 65. Now we then get 71% of people them. But we find out say technically or practically the number of people them, the area they water been they go water not the agree for go na the inside and they now. But yeah, we get the caretaker where they talk say we don't get more people where they get water now in the country. And especially inside Freetown.
Well, absolutely. People they get more water, but if you like now they got water, say the water they pass now all the gutter in our Freetown. Now just like up the hill there, now they better gutter not they. So we look at the statistics, the 30% they get the water now the city, now they up now the hills they must gutter not they, but all my way they do down when from the 70% of the city they get the water because they see and the gutter them. Sometimes now that analysis they then do for the president. Let me tell you, say the speech writers, you swear they call the figures them, they go over, they mistake, they go back, they come, they go, they come. Not so mistake they do. Within himself, the president has already get conscience, he get high conscience. So they say and say but this thing, not to go. But until they don't it's a lot pusher. The way it go, in conscience tell back, say no, you're not correct, they come back. 72, 70, 60. You see they struggle with the figures. My brother, if the speechwriters are not serious with the president and delivers them, then go land with to trouble tomorrow. It's just too sad. It's just too sad. It's just too sad that we get in kind of situations here. When people not get water in the house. Water, electricity. These are basic things where people they deal with on a daily basis. So when they say a day, no day, inflation you go like because it takes some time for people to understand the inflation. You go like economic theories. It go take for people to understand the economic theories, which theory they use. But when you talk about availability of water, I got my money, I don't get water. They say 70% of the people and get, meaning out of every 10 people, 7 people and they were comfortable with water. Who's part of the country? Who's side? The reality of we people and suffering. No, we not use politics for cover up with people and suffering. When they read that, so it means say if any donor want invest in a salon, want help salon in the area of water, He said the president says 70 people them. And other countries, they say like a Congo, where say 20 people, they need water when they get water. 20%, and they only get access to water. There's alone say 70%. If you say something as a organization, so you could go.
Yeah,
you
go say they need more.
Exactly. So some of their statistics, they know they help we as a country. No, we not go for the for me, I don't say one way to maintain power is not through propaganda. It's addressing issues when they affect the people on a daily basis. Ebo, you meet light. People they get light regularly. Now people they get light, so they want them inside every 3 days. Then you want convince them, say them for vote for you. No. Those are not policies where we need for begin to look at. Well, no, water. They get water pass water. In fact, if you look at the analysis of where President Biogi, where it says 75 people at the list and they get more water, it said in March. Who's March? Because in March, now the water the house the day na Western area. We water table in March, the water they reduce. They tell the water reduce back now say 70% they get water. Who's the water they come in? You not say in July, you not say in August, so they will understand say 80% they get water because God the cow to rain down. Then okay, accept. It said in March.
And when they be the campaign, they tell we say the last government then do it in call criminal neglect in terms of the water and business of the country, because they see picking all over the town, they go and pass with jerrycan, they have volley over them for fine water, you know. So they look into that seriously. So because of that, they say don't succeed, don't get 71%, because 71% means say majority of the people and they get comfortably and they go and get water.
7 out of every 10 people get water.
Yeah, it means say you sit down, you able for open you pump, water can meet you, or it means say you able for go na neighbors house you go get water. But certain area and you get for spend the whole night up before water come. 3-4 o'clock in the morning you go get, and before then they say 5 o'clock water don't go back. Some area and day, for example, the mountain court you get for waka go far side. If you dey up na the Mount Royal area, you get for car right down Savage Square for can get water all of the area and day. Let's go to the east side, Kisi, Calbaton, certain area and day water totally not reach there again. But yet still we get 71% where this man say they get water right now. So this na magic, na paper, or na reality. I know able to understand what thing really happen.
Dream.
Exactly. So, I think we get 2 more things there for touch about on this corruption. When are you area that you want to touch about? We want to touch on seriously, and then the last one get for do with infrastructure. Because by the way, I just tell you, say next week they launch the Mabele Bridge. Yeah, with the opening. So we get 2 of them things that we want to talk about: the infrastructure and the corruption. Quick one. By the way, corruption.
Yes, Honorable. Give me something inside corruption. What you think? How the corruption they go right now? As they say, they don't enough tigi one for feta. Well, for me, they feta because right now everything okay. I don't know for you.
I will pray that I use the right words. La not use the word anyampi. Lekwe, my senior comrade and my mentor. Use na poloko. We made the arrest them. But I don't come for understand the meaning of IMP for me to say, now when you in authority, you get power for stop a corrupt practice, you know, stop them, you know, put any measures for address them, you condole them. That act in any called IMP. So what we really say here is 3 levels in the corruption. 1, look at what President Bio and the SRPP used for campaign in the area of corruption. Secondly, look at the audit service reports from 2015 taken on to 2018, how SRPP use them, and how SRPP they use the same audit service report in 2018 to 2022. 1, the SFPP, the audit service report now be one of the reports where, in fact, now in transition we, when SLP win, majority of the recommendation of the transition reports were born out of the audit service reports. Waiting from the COI and the audit service reports. Waiting I mean the evidence the way they use, most of the evidence where they use for the COI and the audit service report. For them, the audit service report shows say the then government will be now a group of racketeers. But interestingly, when you add the money where all the audit service report then they show in 5 years. Now just waiting SLPP in 1 year lost at the end. But even when it happened to them, what did I tell you? They say, oh, the audit service report is not as important as we think say it is. Now, not to audit service report, not they talk only on the government, now civil servant them. They deal with audit service reports.
And a mere opinion.
Now mere opinion. You know, that word mere opinion, mean away SLP can power now no see the audit service reports when I bring about the COI, na mere opinion. Sadly enough, when the president go to parliament in 2018, he say he go empower the ACC for act on the audit service report even before parliament debate them. So what he do? He say he go amend 119 section 5 of the constitution for allow ACC to get the power for go into the audit service report before even parliament debate. So what you can get a situation where then they launch the audit reports today, tomorrow the ACC begin by people and when you begin an investigation of that nature, not to so the constitution say. 119 is so clear. Say when they pull the audit service report, parliament the debate and they form subcommittees for look into the issues how they come before anybody else can lay on them. But this is not what is painful. Corruption under the APC, according to the audit service report, now it's just about when you check all the things they say lost in the APC for the last 10 years. Now just 25% of what SLPP don't manipulate in just 2 years. But not that is shocking revelation. When that is shocking revelation for we people them, now the fact say, for the very first time, we audit service reports go right inside the office of the president. For the very first time. For the very first time in history, the audit service talk about the first family where involved the president and the first lady. For the very first time. And let's see what some of the issues that may come out inside it. One, they talk about the issue of the $170 million where the first family pay, they tell them go India. Well, then they get left to you.
Lebanon.
So I say they go Lebanon. So I say they go honeymoon.
So I say
they go medical. But what will be happening in that transaction be, for the very first time we see the president, the first family, and the office of the president almost physical cash and go to hospital. Two things where I get problem with. One, are you saying before we left salon
the president before you go to the two things, what are the word they used for describe that the possible money laundering?
No, I am coming. I know not on the money laundering I'm a problem first. The first problem is, I always want to say, when it comes to issues around the office of the presidency, I am very, very much concerned. You mean we pull money from the consolidated form? We go Lebanon with the president, we dear president who we so love. We're so much important to we. Now we'll go to Lebanon with all the money, we'll go, who's our hospital now? Where the hospital? Now this hospital, well, we don't count to president. You are not count for we. They say, okay, we'll pay. They'll pull the money, we'll pay. Like so that cake will go buy for the president. I thought before we left now with the president, we don't get medical advice from Naya. Say, pull Naya, una go because even when the president they get medical doctor, they say Naya. When you find in India, or whosoever inside they go, then governor do transaction before they go. But if you work out that kind of money, I like the language of the audit service report. It said it is possible means of money laundering. It said any advice, let's sure things not happen again. This is the level at which people around the presidency, they play with the security of this country. Because whether I vote for President Bill, whether I elect him, whether I not elect him, as it is so now, the state property, now we all own. And anything we have to do with insecurity in health, if for me we concerned. And therefore, that act for go with Alexander to go buy cake now hospital, who's the hospital today? Now by that, I don't remember myself, even their local insurance that's allowed to do with medical, go allow you for give money, so okay, go to get yourself like camp. The other issue we come about land again, they talk about the audit service talk about double dipping. When the president they travel, then they pay the people when they go with per diem. But when the president they give the president in your money, when they allocate for the president, then they put all the people in the back paying per diem, per that money, double dipping. This is in the office of the president. The third issue we come up is that issue of this the issue of the fake receipts. My brother.
I will explain fine. Wait in the audit report say about fake receipts.
You know, the audit report say when the president travel and he pay, then do all them hotel the way they go. They submit the report to the receipt to the audit service. The audit service then take their receipt and they cross-check with the hotel them and find out, say, Dabaru, Yuki take place in the receipt where they pay for the press. Oh God, God have mercy on us. This is the office of the president. But not so that they all go shock you, my brother. When the same audit report will talk about the president, that the same audit report talk about the mayor. ACC, instead of defending the office of the president, when are the number one man and look into the issues them and say, no, not also this still happen, no. Now so this still happen, no. Mr. A for payback, no. Then left the office of the president and go investigate the mayor. It's sad.
So
you know why?
They investigate the mayor for waiting and then when they left round which one way in your way, if you put on a scale, yeah, how would I get with passing company?
Okay. One thing we make you address the issue of the president. This the president will campaign on the platform of zero tolerance to corruption.
But again, Ben Kelfala big fair point here. He said they no get rights for investigate or prosecute the president because he get this blanket way cover him. And yeah, that's not fair point. After they can investigate him.
Okay. You see, I also said this in 1999, SLBC saying, it is not the president they are going to investigate.
But it will go back to him because according to the audit report, now the scope, yeah, now they in charge of them things and they. But waiting the scope in say, yeah, that he say he gets advice or he consults with the president. When means say anyhow he go around say he get for go back to the president and they not get any to ask a question.
Until we reach that point where all fingers go point. No. This president, no, not what I am doing. True. The president are not good at it. All we want.
No, but it didn't have the report. It didn't have the audit report. Say the scope say he do consultation with him for do all waiting in the report. So.
You remember what Ben Kefala tell you? He said the audit service reports na mere opinion.
Very correct.
That's how the talk so say the scope say na the opinion of the auditors. Me na so I say I don't go CID.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No get on that way.
Yeah, but waiting in my opinion, I've been doing a video on that. Waiting more than me pass all. Now where one time when they do in tour for the 3 years, it tell we say the last government go na how you call this country? Japan. Yeah, they left that day. In go there now, then go stop them. They not allow them for go inside until we in pay. See this thing until we in arrange the payment. In order a leader they all long going on agree go inside. But that in a debt they left na Japan. But in your case now, he say he don't clear the debts Usa e go na Lebanon. But now, he not only left that day, but he take people fake receipts, he can present them. So now, he left that, there at the same time, he count fake receipts. So what does this mean for the image of the country? Because he always the longer the image of the country.
Also, they say this happened at the office of the president, where the president get overall authority. Yeah, at the office of the president, they happen no, but not to the president do am. Let me party. Yeah, and not go do that kind of thing there. But for due process, for accountability, if we don't find, let ACC look at that issue as quick as possible. Why? The president in campaign. Secondly, other countries, other international corporations, where they deal with you as a country, they look at, in fact, one of the intelligence we get was the hotels that will be involved, we almost there on the verge for take me to court for forgery and for involve the name, in short, fraudulent conversions. So we don't even know it's not the level of being hotels and then the steps so that we don't take. Yeah. But when he informed the office of the president, it's shocking. Number one. Number two, when he get for do with, something I get this English word where they try for add in a dictionary, then call it ferocity. To man and say fair, that you cook something, you cook some, not to power, you do ferocity. You understand it? The reason is,
in other words, when they can say take them, kill actually you sing God.
No, you didn't buy now something like when they buy.
Okay.
Fair, they buy. You understand?
Okay.
No, sir, don't accuse the office of the president on that kind heinous and shameful issues here. At least laws is now they relieve somebody off in duty. Or laws is say they let somebody apart or let them investigate. Law we see steps what did they take. One thing with media against, I hate to see we leaders we don't serve this country. After they left, they begin drag them for give accounts. It is so because imagine you yourself, you a woman they on apart, after I don't go apart, when I meet up that it begin cost you. At one point you must not spend sleepless nights for watch away well. So even when they go apart, simply there be calmness and respect. So the president did so now. And if I was president, now me say they leave them people and call ACC for investigate. Because I don't trumpet the issue of corruption. But this is what it boils down to. It boils down to the fact, say, when you allow, when you allow the people when are the image makers of the country for become politicians, the decision makers, the hands will always be tied. Because you are all part of the game playing. So what you do, one of the effects for cover up. And not forget, in as much as we blows with international records accolades, but then people in the way they come on America, how they can reach you now, the embassy there, that's how they pull reports, and they were there on the ground. You got MCC, okay, we don't win compact, okay, they're not this level, they're not that level there. But the actual reality of the ground people they see, the only service report the way they come out, it's not good for democracy. When you listen to the Africanist press, you watch them, the publications around governance and corruption, we have to do with the first family. It's so heinous.
So quickly,
so
you get any information about the Auditor General in any case?
In fact, I think I said this till they say they don't sack the Auditor General. Or they say no, they suspend them. Show me anybody they don't suspend this government will come back.
Yes, I can show you.
Who that?
The Minister of Labour, when I be Minister of Basic Education.
By the rest?
Yes, the rest.
Well, now because the rest, then who can play it time. And if you sack one person, they go show that they pull it for. So for me, in return, na be a smart way for cover up other people the way be also involved.
Okay,
in
I
the
can
saga.
tell you another one. The first Attorney General and Minister of Justice, when I be Agriculture Minister, then be sacked at one point and then count and back.
Well, in your job as they're not invest. I not say sack. They probably not whether they sack and count back.
Okay, all right.
That whether they investigate speedily and reinstate again.
Okay, so let me go to infrastructure quickly. What do you get for infrastructure? A talk about I know play anything, just in your summary.
Hey, this man is powerful.
Very.
Very powerful. In 2018, they say inherit projects. And they renegotiate some, and they study the other one. Them. In 2019, not only nothing more than project than the game. In 2020, the project the way he inherits, where say they can do an overview on. What's he do now? He can't tell me say the project they don't introduce them, and they can't complete the road the way they don't start. Imagine you meet the inside bypass where they go, people they say, so people will come on mountain, we see the road. They say that they can't complete that. That way they not being completed from 2019, not complete. 2020 not complete. 2021 not complete. 2022, so I say don't complete them. Load the dust book on the place. All the successes we get for do with infrastructures, what they then do, there is this systematic deliberacy where they use. Then delay the project after 1, 2, 3 years, then take them in the 4th year, move on small, and come in the 5th, for the country was the 5th year for conclude them, and tell people and say, oh, we don't launch. The Bele Bridge on the launch. I think they forget. Look the bridge, the other side, if you go by the left, the shine board they did the whole two. In fact, the first shine board they talk about 2013 and they will complete that bridge in 2015. The second shine board they talk about the job starts in 2016 and it will complete in 2019. So all the starting dates the way that shine board did. I don't think the president will be an aspirant or flag bearer of the SLPP. But it say a beginner, they go launch them. But now again, artists they not able to launch album again because people are not going to stadium. So when the party launch, they make them fill the gap. We not get artists again, the article for you, the Sarah the Great's not there now. We not able to get Emerson not the launch again. So when the party launch for we now, at least it make not they miss the artists them better. But the truth of the matter is, all waiting President Bio they talk about infrastructure now. What is sad? Now when you talk about infrastructure in the health area, they say in 6 months' time, it will repair all the major hospitals. Believe me, I would expect President Bio to say, and they begin build hospitals, patching them. My brother, this is sad. But let's just imagine, for argument's sake, say we get 200 chiefdoms, divide the entire country into 200. And are you saying in the period of 5 to 10 years, we're not able to build 100-bed hospital in every chiefdom and get 2 medical superintendents for Sidon Day?
Okay, so on this infrastructure business, one popular thing where a blunt talk about a deliberate skip on this trip. Well, I know it's a deliberate, not talk about on this trip. Now the issue of the Lungi Bridge, and one statement 2019 is say they don't get people them where who come watch the bridge, they don't able forget people who can work on them. In 2020, tell we say then defend people them, they don't adjust the price and other things then. But in 2022, you not say anything about them. You did it? The Lungi Bridge, you not say anything about that. You surprised that you not say anything about that?
This now is in black cat. So we say if you see trouble, they call it only much, they not talk. So we call that act the act of blacker, the blacker. But interestingly, this is no fun. This is serious business. We don't say a pattern of the president. In 2021 last year, when he did deliver his speech, no forget in 2019, 2020, Africanists highlight most of the major corruption that will happen in the office of the First Lady. And in 2021, when the president addressed Parliament, not talk now the first time we president address the nation, we not talk on corruption at all. So whenever an issue become topical, we ensure say you not get an answer to another address them. For the very first time again in the history of Sierra Leone, in the last 4 years, President Bio give a speech where not talk about the conditions of teachers and waiting the teacher and not the benefits now. In all the last 4 speeches they give, they talk about the condition of teachers. I don't improve the life of teachers. They don't give their award, they don't give their this, they don't give their nanny. So this year again, they talk about the Lungi Bridge. Well, if I were to tell you, they forget who said don't say another manifesto say it. They say no, not to be manifesto commitment. But it is there. And we still say the president launch. They say no, now they be the launch. Hey. This lab like a lot of fun.
Okay. All right. We want to talk quickly about this 21-man committee. You're not part of this 21-man committee. Yeah. You know, I know say you know for talk about time, but I will just get for talk about time small bit more because people can get interest. But before I take into that, the small more in the health issue. This man tell we say they extend the health now for people the way to go school, as well as you know they give you what we call health insurance. You think say this not something visible at all? Because we know some other countries in the Western world where they don't even get health insurance because of how expensive it be. And not able to maintain the free education proper one. They come now with health insurance. So say they extend them to other people. Are visible?
So you also the echo which I be saying now. The entire booklet is full with issues we go call future impossible tense.
Okay.
If you cannot address building basic schools, you promise in the words, you know, address the issue of water, now cottage. You know, what's make I can always use cottage? Cottage now the area we already they do today. Now woman them, delivery, blood, picking them, they need water, the place will be sanitized. Believe you me, when you admit na corner, na cottage. If you have to go for go born, you get for go there for the go get water.
Yes.
For taking care of them.
Yes.
You know, we provide electricity. In fact, as I talk to you, so in the last 2 quarters, they know we provide money for the local councils, the money take care of the hospitals around the country. So if you know we provide money for councils, them when are they own money, they own subventions, they forget for run their own allocations. So sometimes when they can tell you, so we allocate this a percent of money to this ministry, this. Now, money in papers. 2 quarters, you know, we give council money for run the hospitals. They cannot run the schools because 75 to 80% of the schools where you talk about in Sierra Leone are in the council located areas. You know, we give them their money. What can you offer? What?
Anyway,
so
if you want to talk all of them,
the last step, I call the president in attention. And every time I get an opportunity, I call and say, Mr. President, can you come down the jeeps and go to the hospitals in our country and see how dirty, how discouraging. Even the houseman room, beside the doctor, they sleep. If they're on duty in a net. My brother, I open for C1. It is so disappointing. If you are like any Saturday security, they sleep. These are professionals, for God's sake. They deserve better. If you see we hospital bed them, if you see we form them, if you see the toilet facilities in the hospitals.
Anyway, it's too much. Don't left down there and can out to my own side. Because on ourselves get some small issue the way on they try for work on. Let's watch out this list quick one. We see the 21 names don't come out. Yeah. As we go about let's just see something quick. Let's go about let's read and quick. Full list of APC 21 man interim transitional governing council. Number 1 man at the list, Alfred Peter Conte, when at the chairman. Alfred Nainke go the party na court win against them. And then you get Honorable Ibrahim Bundu, you get Rashid Santigi Sise, you get Suleimani Bumne, you get Gaddafi. I don't know that are the Gaddafi. You get Madame Emma Simbo. You get Alhaji Sat Kamara. You get Alhaji Aka Kuruma. You get Binte Conte. Then for the West, you get Honorable Rose, you get Honorable Alpha Ba. For the North, you get Honorable AKK, you get Honorable Abdul Karim Kagbo. For the Northwest, you get Honorable Kale. For the East, you get Honorable Aissata Tom Toka. For the South, you got Honorable Amadou Kanu. Then you get the legal part, you get Alpha Jallo, you get Youth Congress, Ibrahim Prince Tolly, Women's Congress, you get Marie Tambaka Kamara, and you get Diaspora winner Hassan Kamara. Now, Honorable, take me through this list here. What do you make up of the list? Because Yusuf inside this list.
Let's just make some quick corrections. In the West, you get Alpha Amaduba and Rugiatu Rosie Kanu. In the Northwest, you get Honorable Abdul Karim Kamara and Honorable Abdul Kagbo, not Abdul Karim Kagbo.
Okay.
If I ever print that list, Abdul Kagbo not get Karim.
Okay.
Then in
let me just say Karim not did it. Let me say Honorable Abdul Kagbo.
Okay.
For
in the North, you get Honorable Laya Mara and Honorable Aaron Aruna Koroma. You get Honorable Isaac.
Okay.
Tommy. Then you get Amadou Kanu. These are the 8 MPs.
Okay.
First of all, we are not part of any side of the fraction. Okay. We are not members of the current executive, the outgone executive, and we are not part of the under we go with the party in accord. But rather, we find ourselves on both sides. Because since we represent the party in parliament, the aggrieved party we represent, because they always wanted us to be good members of parliament, and the outgone executive would also be the represent, because now them the first moral guarantors of the party at the time before the courts rule them out. We first of all want to thank the administration of the party, all fractions of the party for accept the ruling, and believe in the words of the outgoing Secretary General today, is handing over not just the party into our hands, but is handing over the party, the livelihood of the people, the lives of Sierra Leoneans into our hands. When I sit down as a young person for meditate this word, it means clearly the only hope of the people of Sierra Leone is in the APC. So handing over the lives of the people of Sierra Leone that we hand means our actions, our decisions, our representations in that committee, with agreement, with disagreement, gets to go a long way for create a stable economy in this country. And they go a long way for national cohesion in this country. And they go a long way for solve the issue of bread and butter, because at the end of everything, waiting will be with number one goal now for ensure say the APC win election 2023. And if that never happen, it means we for pull the self out of the equation. Oh, now 12 against 9, now 18 against 13, standing up for be we focus. I think we already in the room believe the only way for remedy the situation of the ordinary Sierra Leoneans now for ensure APC come back to power. And
the issue of the Peter Continent can go the party in court, so we for stand against any decision because we will pass Peter Continent them or whatsoever, and not for be the case in this.
Not at all. You know, democracy is the rule of the majority, but the minority's voice also for be heard. We're in that room not as Peter Conte versus the MPs or the legal team. No, we're in that room as APC. You know what happened today? In the first session, we don't talk. After the address, we came out and we sang 2 strong messages. One, that the victory song when at the first stanza. But when we sing the second stanza, we say, sons of APC, stand firm. Sons of APC will shine. You understand? In the struggles of the APC, he said, we shall conquer every other thing. He said, forward ever, backward never. You understand? These are words where they call we to action on behalf of not just we party, but we will stand firm for liberate the country. My question is, are you satisfied with the state of affairs in this country? If no, and if you're part of the 21-man committee, it means that the liberation of this nation is in your hands. Are you satisfied with comrades them, where they go through persecution now, where they arrest? So Monday over Guinea, you get the likes of, we organize a sector in the Northwest, Box, it is Guinea. We form a PRO of the party, it is at large. We get other cities in the day who we don't know of, in the quiet communities, because they were APC, they were arrested and incarcerated in the prisons. We don't know of them. Are you happy with that situation? Are you happy with the one where they raped Nakailao because of APC? Are you happy with the one that were dying and lovely because of APC? Are you happy with the state of the economy? Are you happy with the state of the cost of living on the people? If you are not happy with that and you're part of the 21-man committee, I think one of the things I will say is, this is not the time for put ego aside. This is not the time for stop for things say we have won. And we want also acknowledge with various people within our social media, where they do commentary on waiting they happen, waiting that we expect, we they pray and we they call them attention for things say, at this level where we are as a party, it's not the time for who has won or who win. At the end of the day, we were able to come inside that room and say the APC has won. We have done it before. We can do it again.
So let's look at the primaries, the elections then, at different ward constituency and even the national convention. How long gonna get for organize all of them things in there?
Well, the mandate will get not cover by-elections for now.
No, not to the by-election they talk about. And they talk about the constituency elections then for executive members then.
Then get different cadres then.
Okay.
We get to do the rules then. After we do the rules, we get to send to PPRC. After PPRC gazette, everything give and take is within 3 months. And you see, we don't get time in we favor. So any plenty disagreement in that room, no go only stagnate the APC. And you know one sharp message will come out during the president and visit the parliament with the address. If you listen the SFP audience the wake up, one of the order them the top is una no get forget flag there, una no get flag there. Yeah. Meaning their belief say when we go into that room as 21 man, we not go agree. But I want to bet my life saying the APC is a united family. You know, by the time people are going to inside the room, if they walk up and down inside the room, you see, if you get talk to the person, hey, you know, also person, yes, me now this person picking. You know, there is that kind of I want to assure the friends, by the time we do we second meeting after the handing over, we all left the room smiling and exchanging numbers. In fact, some of the people who did at that meeting, they are not strangers in the APC. And we want to see how best we all will work in the interest of the APC. We are not interested in who becomes the next position, who don't want this position, who don't want that position. What's more important, it is better to put away our egos now and save the life of our people than for things saying that we win against the one we lost at the expense of the ordinary people. Not forget, as we did so now, most of the people who were APC Polo, they pass up and down the street. They've never been councillors. They've never been ministers. They've never been employed in the party. They've not ever been host at this party. They know one day buy Mutskan at this party. They know one day get nothing. When they concern at this we don't get for APC. They're doing it out of love. But those are the people who are humiliated, that they arrest, that they kill, that they humiliate. For God's sake, let's work in the interest of our people, the ordinary people down in the slum. The ordinary people who see the only side we will get solace at the APC. The ordinary people who believe say that only the APC can liberate this country. This is not a situation of who has won or who will win. This is a situation of us liberating the lives of our people.
And now I get for organize the convention, what's that they pick the flag bearer?
No, we got to the point where, first of all, we get to choose the 25-man committee. We get to run the elections them. whilst we go to supervise as we go. But I want to assure the people of Sierra
Leone, get them
say,
right. The 25-man committee where UNA get for put together and then they organize the convention for the flag bearer.
Yes. Now then I did like the neck.
Okay.
Because this body then form so I've allowed to supervise and run the party.
So I wanna get for pick. I get for be like this same kind where they pick the 21-man committee or voting. Now vote and vote or whatever.
We don't want to say anything we get for be inside the room. As I say, it is not a situation of we una pick 2, we they pick 3, una pick 7, we they pick 8. No. I am sure at the end of the day, APC will pick the people who are credible and the people who get integrity for do their work then day. But it will not be us versus them or them versus us. We want to run our party as a united. You know, politics is a different game. It's a difficult game. What you have is what somebody else wants. What you want is what somebody else wants.
Unity in all. We don't listen to some different, social media commentators, especially the one that we didn't say party. I want to get for handle them because we see some people they talk about different people that when a potential flag bearer them, or people that we get for come up for saying I want to become flag bearer. They talk about different negative things about them, and we see how that affects, a mother bill when Alpha side will use some of their word and they. I want to go handle anything and they.
I am sure by the time the second to third meetings, we people go understand, say, who's are we doing now? It's not about who wins or who loses. It's about a simple question. Are you comfortable with the way President Bio they carry on the country? Yesterday, it's July, who was arrested, and today she is dead. Are you assured that next tomorrow not will be you?
Okay, so in the last question I will ask you, this one won at the Go Panso now for pick flag bearer, it go totally different from the 2018 flag bearer competition.
Well, in fact, this one now all what they do, they be guided by 2 things. One, the court ruling and the new constitution, and therefore, I don't think say the new constitution or the court ruling will get anything like what's in the happen. But we believe say. As we did so, our party, the grassroots we get them party, they're stable-minded. All what our people want is liberation. And that liberation will only come from the APC. If we disappoint our people now, because of we personal egos them, because of what we believe in, because of the people we support, because of the people we don't promise we positions them, we could damage the party. And we would damage the hope of the ordinary people. I want to say again, when we go inside the room today, I turn my eye, and most of the people they be inside the room, except for very few, now old people them. It should say the party don't show say they get hope in we the young people them, and therefore we the young people and not for fail the people them out there. Even the people who not be vote for APC in the last election, they see the only hope of this country now APC. And the only thing they tell you, they say, the party get confusion for us. And I am sure this 21-man committee, for able to go inside the room, for able doing bitter medicine inside it, for able to get with disagreement, and for able to get with ala, then they were necessary, but we will come out clean, tidy, and united for face we forget a common enemy when our SLPP. But we never begin to think of how to fetch yourself, how to prove say you're right. Have a people say no, Peter Conte, this way we do say be bad. If it was bad yesterday, we have a good result out of it today. We can get a very nice result out of tomorrow. So for me, what is more important is the last question of what do we stand to gain? If A happen, if B happen, if C happen. So if we not stand for gain anything, why we for do E, F, G, H? So it's a question of us doing what is expected of us. We want to talk to people out there in the diaspora, say we still believe in them for support the party. This is a crossroad we did, and we sure say we are still APC. We are not divided by anything. The courts don't take any decision. We obey them as a party, and we look forward for get a stable APC. We everywhere you do, begin to watch the post APC don't hurt you at the APC. Even when not near you, imagine them and smile, say, yesterday was my good friend. And today, we forget misunderstanding. There are more rooms for collaboration. And therefore, we call on every other person to look at one big picture. We are only 12 months to the date of election very soon. So if we still if you say, oh, this person, we don't do me this. Oh, this person, we don't do me that. Oh, this person, we don't do me that. We are not only depriving ourselves for kind of power, but we also would shatter the hope of the ordinary people. And for me, that is what is important. Our people are suffering. Our people need liberation. Our people are calling for us to take advantage of the opportunity that's available.
All right, I think by the way, we'll take an low wrap up now because don't do all things. But one question kind of Facebook will say if you not trust Peter Conte.
Well, this is not the time for beginning the doubt people. You know, me not supposed to really eat boku oil. So I can fry egg, I can rather for use butter. So now the outcome of we internal deliberations. But I want to say today, it sounds so positive for ensure say the party gets within necessarily for let we proceed as a party.
Okay.
And I am sure if you ask them if you trust the MP them, they will tell you say my opinion about them before I met them is different now with the opinion I get about them now that we've met today.
For so in other words, you know for talk before you sabi somebody.
Thank you.
Wait and see what the person be and wait and make you do that thing there.
We are together for the reason of the APC.
Thank you.
You know, and we are going to make history if we work together and collaborate and get the required results. History will remember we on the favorable side. But if we go there and we're able to get the results we the people expect, history again will remember we in the bad side. And for some of who is still young, we choose politics as a career above every other thing we be available to we. I think we need for guide ourselves and ensure say we know what we dey into and we know what we dey head for.
Hey,
all right. I just want to say plenty thank you to Mr. Honorable. And for making able to give people them a last word before we wrap up the program and the between now.
To the people of Cambia, Poloko, Carine, I want to tell you thank you for giving the opportunity for Sabula. To the people of Tonkolili, Bombali, Poloko, again, and the people we find themselves in Falaba and Kwanadugu, we also want to say thank you to Ona. To the people of the Bow, the South, and the East, we want to tell you plenty thank you for believing we as MPs all these 4 years. It has been a challenging moment for we as MPs. But Ona trust me, and today we certainly follow the social media. When the list come out, we not see any resentment from anybody. The people appreciate the list we see. And then the only thing is, they say they expect much from we. We want to say we're not going to let Una down. But it's not a do or die battle, we against them. It's a situation in which Una interest, now we go put above, we personally interested. And we assure Una say, at the end of it all, we all go sit on our round table with Peter Conte and in team, the APC, the outgoing executive, understand and see the bigger picture, say, we are at the crossroad, and we believe, say, at this point, the APC and only the APC for win. Not to Peter Conte, not to AKK for proof saying that the most intelligent person in the room, not to Abdul Karim for proof saying that the most skillful debater now. What's important for we are the fact, say, we are going into the room as a team, and we will come out of the room as a team for giving the relevant winning what we desire. For those who think, say, the APC is divided based on rating that they see, we will prove to them, say, we will disappoint them and prove to them, say, we are united front. We had this before now. We settle them as a family. This one, not an impersonal way we settle. We trust, we serve, and we believe, say, the people don't make a wrong choice for believing the APC and come 2023 with the people's determination of buying a bag of rice 500. The people's determination, we feel we they want to combat the issue of fear with the more at them. water no dey, electricity no dey, corruption no begin go right inside the office of the first family and the president. I think the people are determined to put a stop to all of that. And the only hope we can get at the APC. If we fail them because of we egos, believe you me, it will be counterproductive. Don't underrate what the people can do in this social media world today. They can do anything. So we want for tell una thank you again for the trust going to be started on we.
Thank you very, very, very much. In 30 seconds, Peter Conte na the chairman for just organize them thing there, or na chairman like what you say, and it's by Kumana be the chairman. And so they make her now because people won't forget how they declare.
Well, now the court be say for this 90 days or they go through all this process, the party power not forget vacuum. We need somebody we go lead the 21-man committee until we go through all the processes.
For the 21-man committee, we mean say then they're responsible for the affairs, the day-to-day running of the party. In other words, in the stepping that vacuum way and as by Kumar don't come out, and in don't take update for now as interim.
Yes, for the next 3 months. Now we all did
so
it now.
So now we can now clear that Peter Conte na the chairman for the party for now.
The court say na the chairman, and we respect that decision because which we want na liberation for the people.
So enough still Peter Conte na the chairman for this 90 days.
Na the chairman of the 21-man committees, yes.
And running the affairs of the party.
Correct.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you very much. Like what I don't say for way take time and join me inside the program today. We appreciate you so much.
I am always available and I hope for meet when I again very soon. We go at other issues and we're very good for we country.
National concern, of course, yes.
Yes, of national concern.
Thank you very much. God bless you. And sorry that we don't keep you this long for let we talk about things then. I don't say you want for sleep because you said you don't go tire mood like by boy.
Well, it's sometimes very, very much important. This is what we ought to do as the representatives of the people. We've always been open and ready for talk to the people because democracy demands communication. Where communication is not available in democracy, chaos will be the order of the day.
Okay, so by the way.
Thank you once again, Honorable AKK. God bless you and more power, more energy, more efforts.
Thank you.
All right, get yourself a good night.
Well, of course, from Bulem, so we take time for end the program today. They tell everybody plenty thank you. You will come and comment, you will come and share the program, you will come and like, you will not even like the program. As long as you join in a discussion, we tell you plenty thank you. Both YouTube and Facebook. Me and Abibireka live from the north until we meet again tomorrow on another beautiful edition inside the same house. As soon as I see, I don't tired, I don't fatigue bad. So I just don't like Mama to watch. Until we meet again, Tata, I love you all. God bless you all.
All right.
One salon.
Sembe Freedom Fighter, but I want to tell thank you to Prime Salon on Facebook. A blog page where for the first time then share with flyer. We always don't try for promote other people, but for the first time, Prime Salon, then share with flyer for help we promote this particular program. One for tell them plenty thank you. We appreciate you so much, yeah. Prime Salon then on Facebook, and you can follow them page and stuff can get things that way they do. Until we meet again, my name is Sembe the Freedom Fighter. Get yourself a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, and good night. You know say plenty people not get for votes the time for election? Not because they no want for vote, but now because of this simple mistake where I can't tell you what so, now I go make plenty people no vote. Right now, as the Electoral Commission Salon don't pull the date for votes and for register, plenty people just the yagba and they rush go do things them as then they tell them for do. But hey, members say registration, the voter registration, they begin from the 3rd of September to the 4th of October 2022. Then a number 1 step wey go give you guarantee say you go vote. But if you make mistake during this term, you no go go for vote. And I think this way person no go able for help you pan. Wetin this mean? It means say no ever register na the area where you dey work, do business, or where you dey go school. You know what it make? You don't know. Sometimes the term for the election, then go say public transport not for run. This na big challenge for you. Remember, if you tap na Kalbaton and then you dey work na Lumley, how you go able for go and vote na that side? You go able for waka? The answer na no. So, no make that mistake there. As them blow the whistle, when they say, hey, today na the 3rd of September for begin the voter registration. Do ya try by all possible means for register na the center where they near you house. So the day when they go say for voting, whether Mutuka deal, Mutuka not deal, not to your business. You dey go serve full na morning, vote, return back na you house. So you see, if you make this mistake, the possibility go they say you no go vote 2023. So waiting at this yagba now for say me party go continue for then na power or me party go return na power if I not able for vote. You want vote, they change the whole situation.